All right. Hello and welcome back, everyone. I got two videos to watch, but before I get into those two videos, I wanted to do just a little palate cleanser. DSP has been in the mind of Morse Critical a little bit again, so we're just gonna watch this super quick, and or not. 1 second. Let's bring that back.
Common thing to have happen online where someone spends a long time building their brand and building their audience. And as they grow, they start to really resent the audience that they have. And usually this comes in one of two forms where you have someone like Darkside Phil. I've used him as an example before, but he has an audience that he doesn't seem to really like, but he needs them because they pay his bills. So he has to constantly keep doing the same things in order to keep the lights on. I imagine he feels trapped by his viewers because he has to keep doing this song and dance in order to get the money from them, but doesn't like what he's doing. And it also happens to other creators as well who spend a long time building their identity online, but they don't like what they're doing and they don't like the people that are watching them. So then they try and make some kind of change and then get eaten alive by their community, which only further reinforces their disdain for them, which leads to a really toxic community where everyone's at each other's throats. There's countless examples of that. Point is, that experience online is all too common. And when it does happen, a creator's left with a choice. They either just suck it up and keep making the shit that they clap for, even though it doesn't make them happy and they don't like the audience that's clapping for them, or they try and change the content and grow a different kind of audience, which is always this.
Or you take the third option, which is what DSP did, where he just brainwashes and convinces his denthead audience that they will like this. And then he makes a whole react thing because he's clearly trying to get away from gaming content, right? He thinks that's too much work to put in for the money that he's getting. He wants easier. If he could, he would just have it to where he would not stream at all and just have them tip him. Cuz he wants the easiest possible way to get money without having to put any kind of effort into it whatsoever. So that's why he's started the whole react. He's trying to distance himself from the game thing, and he's tried to brainwash and convince them, his fans, that that's a good thing. That's what they should like. But you can't really force someone to like something, though, Phil. And I mean, obviously, like keep this in mind before, because like it's true. Like he keep in mind, because in this upcoming video that actually this video here, a little later on, he's going to say something to the effect of like, I'm not beholden to anyone, but that's a lie. You are be Any YouTuber is beholden to their audience, to their views, and you're no exception to that, Phil. But
Scarier option. That's always the more uncertain one because maybe no one likes it and now you've lost that audience you've built up and now your career is in jeopardy. You might not be able to keep the lights on by doing this career anymore because now you've alienated them, gone in a different.
yep. All right, so that was that one. All right, on to the main video. Well, one of two main videos. Not the whole thing, don't worry.
Tuckerson says, do you see a redemption arc being possible for you? If so, what do you think has to happen? Here's the thing. For a redemption arc to happen.
All right, so let me bring that back really quick. I want you to actually hear the question.
In my closet last year, I have those.
Yeah, just wipe your nose all over.
DSP songs type exclamation. Where's the vest pull? There's no vest yet.
Jiggling your arm. Did I go too far back?
Possible for you? If so, what do you think has to happen? Tuckerson says, do you see a redemption arc being possible for you? If so, what do you think has to happen? Here's the thing. For a redemption...
My friends, we are in for, I think, 10 to 15 minutes of pure cope right here. So I want you to take this in. Take in the delusion that goes on, the pure copium, because he's not just brainwashing his fans, right? He's brainwashing himself. He's trying to formulate in his head, and it's like the tiny little neurons that are left are like firing in a way to try to like bend this over to where it's like he believes it himself. So he will tell the lie or spread it out and like make all the excuses possible, and his mind will like see it as that is what happened when it really didn't.
Redemption arc to happen, okay, someone had to have had fallen, okay? I was popular like over 10 years ago.
What is that? That looks like just like a little streak of no hair right here. Just do 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 do. Yeah, it just looks like a little tiny streak of no hair. But I guess we shouldn't be surprised. And also, you've fallen a long fucking way. Every time I think you've hit rock bottom, you just pull out another shovel and keep on digging, Phil. You've fallen a long fucking time ago. A very long time ago you've fallen.
At a time when YouTube was into a certain kind of content, then I basically became the whipping boy through memes and This Is How You Don't Play for a decade or more. But
So, like, do I have to pause every 5 seconds to, like, correct him? Like, no, you did all this to yourself. You didn't become a whipping boy because of memes. You became a whipping boy because of your dumbass actions and the shit you spew. He doesn't want any kind of consequences to all the bullshit that he spews. But yet, I think we'll see it in this video, the next video, where it's like, he'll go on and on. No, that's the next video I was going to go over. But he'll go on about like, oh, you're a big YouTuber. You should realize your words have consequences to them. Yeah. Well, why don't you take that advice then, Phil? Your words have consequences to them too. All the bullshit, all the slander and lies and defamation that you spread about Pro Jared, about Tobuscus, about PewDiePie, all these Markiplier, all these people that you shit on over the years, they have consequences. All of the fucking bullshit defamatory remarks and slurs that you've said, everything all has consequences. So no, it wasn't memes that made you the whipping boy of the internet. It was you.
I still make content for an audience that likes me. There's a lot of idiots who don't like me, but that doesn't mean that I fell
very
from
small
grace.
audience of
I
people
never
that
had
actually
the
like
grace
you.
to begin with. I was
Like
never a
5
virally
people.
popular person. When you're talking about redemption arc, you look at someone who literally everyone is crapping on the internet, but they're not getting any positivity. They're not getting any kind of love. They're barely scraping by, and then all.
So you. This is describing you to a T. Phil, your chat is so fucking dead. And it's so full of socks. Literally only OIC and a very small handful of people are paying your bills. And even fewer people are actually watching and enjoying your content. Most of the views you get, look, like Level 1 podcast, I'm giving you a fucking view right here. DSP fucking gaming. I'm contributing, unfortunately, to your content by giving you a view. But you would go back and look at the view count of only 189 views, and you'll think I'm one of the people who actually enjoy your video content. And that's not the case, clearly. So, like, you can't even say that all the people that watch your video are enjoying your stuff, Phil. You can't count all those people as what do you used to call it? Like, the silent majority, the unseen masses. I'm like, there is no phantom fans, like, lurking in the wings, Phil. It's just OIC and a very small handful of people. This is describing you perfectly.
All of a sudden, something turns around for them, and now everyone likes them.
And the difference with you is nothing is ever going to turn around with you. You could have that, but your own choices, your own ego and narcissism will refuse to allow anything to turn around or anything to change so that you can get a positive or have Your own ego and narcissism will prevent you from doing any kind of positive change so that people will see you in a positive light. You will refuse. Keemstar and side scrollers both tried to help you. They actually were trying to help you, dumbass. And you just shit in their faces. No. You know what I mean. I don't know. I couldn't think of anything. Sorry. Because I know I'm definitely one of the people who don't like the whole fucking scat thing. But like, spit. I meant fucking spit. Jesus Christ. You spit in their faces and you decided not to take them up on any of their offers. Both of which would have helped you. If you did the podcast, people would have at least said, oh, big ups, you're at least doing something and like trying to better your situation or everything like that. Like, look, like Wings and Boogie, like, yeah, Boogie lost, but people are still like applauding his courage to get up in the ring and stand up and for that, you know, and do it, you know. That takes courage to do that. I wouldn't be able to fucking do that. Well, depends on who it was, but I'm off. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, it's like, so it's like they're both trying to help you in different ways, right? And you just spit in their faces. And you just, anything that, like, any choice, any chance of anything turning around for you, you will just, like, ignore or push aside and insult. And you won't take any chances to better yourself or to actually change. Because, contrary to what you constantly say, you haven't actually changed at all.
Is that going to happen for me? The only way, again, that would happen is for me to completely change who I am. The kind of content I make.
Yeah. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? I gotta bring that back. I'm sorry. So all the time, I've like had like what? How many videos do I have now? Like just going over DSP shit? And he's constantly saying, I've changed. I changed for the better. You can't make fun of me for that because that was 15 years ago. I changed since then. And now what the fuck does he say? Oh, I can't.
That doesn't mean that I fell from grace. I never had the grace to begin with. I was never a virally popular person.
God damn it, I went too far back.
They're barely scraping by, and then all of a sudden something turns around for them, and now everyone likes them. Change who I am. The only way, again, that would happen is for me to completely change who I am. The kind of content I make.
So now he's admitting right here that he hasn't changed at all. Which is what I've been telling you for a long time, which is what every single fucking detractor knows, like all day, every day, that you have never changed. You are still the same douchebag you were back then, if not worse now. And you haven't changed. You never will change. And you're just admitting it right here, right now, that that would require a huge change. Yeah, well, apparently you never did that. So, yeah, of course. We all know that. God damn.
I'm literally never going to be popular. You understand? YouTube video consumption is not for the kind of content I put out.
God.
It's not. They want drama.
I keep getting distracted by this, like, little line here. And it's really hard because its webcam is so shitty. Like, look how like, it says I'm in HD. Well, it's auto, but yeah, it's like, it's still 1080p and it still looks like total shit. But you can still see, like, a little line of, like, separation where no hair is growing here. I mean, disregarding the fact that his fucking goatee is, like, terrible anyway. Just shave that scraggly thing off, Phil. Jesus.
They want crazy stunts. They want stupid
and it's so
behavior.
Lopsided.
They want, you know what I'm saying? They want clown jokes. They want dumb shit. That's what's popular.
No, it's not. Like, where have you been? I watch a lot of YouTubers. Granted, most of the non-DSP related stuff that I watch is more like ghost videos caught in camera, ghosts caught in camera, paranormal, or cryptid. Like cryptids or shit like paranormal shit, right? And like they don't do any of that stuff. And they have like millions of followers, some of them, or at least hundreds of thousands, and they don't do any clown shit. And like I'm pretty sure a lot of the actual like legit professional like let's players and stuff, they don't do fucking clown shit either. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Maybe back in the day when you were popular, like a little after you stopped being popular, that was true. But I think for the most part, that's not really the case anymore.
Popular on YouTube. Immature nonsense. I don't put out immature nonsense. So
God damn it. He is so judgmental. It's like he will always find something to shit on constantly, right? Every time he always finds something to shit on, but he will not see the same shit that he does is the same shit he's shitting on. So it's like if someone else was on YouTube and did the exact same bullshit Phil does, right? Exact same to a T. Cowboy hat, vest, dressing up, having these lame ass pictures in the background, blowing bubbles, all this bullshit. Oh, Jasper Kitty and all this bullshit, right? He would shit on them so fucking hard. So hard. He would shit on them. Like, oh, they're a clown. They're just playing dress up for money and they're constantly begging all the time. Like, yes, that's what you're doing, Phil. But he doesn't see that. So, like, whatever he's doing, oh, that's okay. There's 1,000,001 excuses for why that's okay. For when he does it. Yeah, no, that's just fun. Like, I'm just doing this for fun. It's not the main thing of my streams. Yeah, I know blowing bubbles is not the main part of your streams, but you're still doing it and it's still immature. But he doesn't consider it immature. He's like, oh, that's just for fun. So anything for him is just for fun and just for fun for the fans or whatever. But if someone else does it, it's immature, it's clown shoes, it's blah, 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 blah. You like, you see what I'm saying? He just shits on everyone constantly and like harshly judges everyone, but he can't like realize that he's doing the same shit that everyone else is doing, and he can't ever like admit that like maybe some of the shit that he does is very, very immature too. Well, basically everything he fucking does is extremely immature too. He doesn't fucking seem to realize that though.
unless I completely changed who I was on YouTube to buy into the drama, I would never blow up on YouTube.
I thought you did change who you were, Phil. Didn't you say so many fucking times that you changed who you were and I'm not that kind of person anymore? Blah, 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 blah.
YouTube. Therefore, a redemption arc isn't possible because I don't want to be redeemed by these idiots. I don't want fucking morons and clowns watching my content because I changed to be what they want to digest. I would rather make the meaningful content I like to make and I have enough support to keep making. You understand?
He has such an inflated ego, and he really does feel that every single piece of content that he puts out is meaningful, robust, top quality, 5-star content. He really thinks that. And it's like, this is something that's always, this is like, I don't know how I would rank it because there's so many different things that this man does that just piss me off, right? Um, so I don't know how I would rank it in my head of like what's the worst, what's the second worst, what, but at the very least, the top five, like in the top, it would definitely be in the top five, but would be like him thinking that him not realizing that meaning terms like meaningful and what people enjoy, stuff like that, is all subjective. Each and every single person is going to have their own take on what is and what isn't meaningful, quote unquote meaningful, and good content, Phil. Cause yeah, I guess technically it's meaningful to the 5 to 10 people that are your fans, right? But to the internet, to YouTube as a whole, to us as detractors, to the vast majority of people in general, um, they are going to argue and say that your content is not meaningful. It is not good content, good quality. It is shit content. It is boring. It is just hearing you talk. You won't let your chat breathe or enjoy themselves, so at least they can enjoy it. And it's just hearing this man bitch about every single fucking little thing. That's not content. That's not good quality content. It's barely even content, let alone quality content. And that pisses me off because this man here thinks he's above you and me. I always want you to remember that. He will always say he's Joe Schmo gamer and he's a man of the people. And honestly, it sounds like I'm describing a politician right now, doesn't it? I love the poorly educated people. Like, no. But like he's like, oh, I'm not one big, I'm not virally famous or whatever. Phil, you're making way more money than most of the people that watch you. So shut the fuck up about that. I make a lot less than you do. I was trying to see if I could like a quarter, but not even a quarter, because if he makes over 100,000, well, no, that's actually kind of close. Yeah, I would say I make about a quarter of what you do, and I'm still able to pay my bills on time. Not spending WW champions, pay all my bills, go and buy enough food, and I don't have to come on here and beg to a whole bunch of people that I deserve a day off with my wife, guys, and I need to order DoorDash 24/7. No, I live within my means, Phil. It's not that hard. You get used to it, especially if you ever had to, like, if you were ever poor or had to grow up poor or low income or whatever. You learn how to manage shit. You learn how to do that. And obviously, he's never been in that situation. We all know that. And probably will never ever be in that situation, considering Jinx and OIC, well, same person, but constantly keep giving him fucking money for no reason. But, like, I lost my train of thought. What was I talking about? I started getting on about money. Oh, that's right. So, but no, Phil, you're not just some ordinary everyday gamer who's trying really hard on Twitch, constantly streaming, trying to make it big someday. You had that chance. You were big on YouTube when it first started, or when you first were. You said in your own words you were making, what was it, crazy boatloads of money and like way too much dirty money. That's what he had said, right? Like something around there. I'm paraphrasing, but boatloads of money. And if you were actually smart with your money, you could be retiring now with fuck you money. You could be on the same level as Keemstar is, retiring early with all this dirty, rotten money. But no, you blew it on this, on that, on moving to Washington for some fucking reason, on all these different things you blew your money on, right? You bought a house that was way too big for just you and Panda Lee. Almost forgot her name. And like, you don't need a house that big, and then you're letting it fall into disrepair, which is just gonna cost you a lot more money in the future. All these things, but like, you could have been big. You could have, like, if you actually like tried new things, expanded your brand, like experimented, like actually took sponsorships and like co-op events with other people, collabs, I mean, with other people, shit like that. You could have been as big as Keemstar is now, but you're not, right? So don't lie and sit here and pretend you're just some Joe Smo nobody, right? You're not some nobody. You ain't like, there are so many people on Twitch right now that are streaming and they have maybe 1 or 2 people watching them on Twitch while they're playing a game. And they have better commentary, better lighting, better backgrounds, better gameplay. Literally everything they do is better than yours. Better camera, better equipment. Everything they do is better than the shit you're doing. And yet they're streaming to 1 or 2 people. And they're probably never going to make nearly as much money as you fucking made. And you don't give a shit. You put no effort into your shit. No effort whatsoever is put into your content. It never has been. And all you do is get on here and beg instead of taking sponsorships that could help you. Instead of taking a $50,000 paycheck that would greatly help you. No, you don't want to do that. You just want to sit here and beg. And I still lost my train of thought about how I got onto money and
Understand? That's the difference. And that's what people don't understand. I can't believe he won't take the money or do this. You're right. You can't believe it because you have a closed mind and you don't understand that I'm happy.
oh, fuck you. Oh my god, this is going to be a lot longer than I thought. And I do apologize ahead of time, like now, because, like, I just got out of work, so I'm a little bit tired, and I'm just, like, not really focused 100% on what I'm talking about. But yeah, I'm trying my best. Oh, God. So we have the closed mind, huh, Phil? Not you. We do. You, in your little hug box there, don't have the closed mind. Okay, got that, right. And you are happy. You know, people who are generally happy don't have to convince others they're happy. They don't have to constantly say all the time, I'm happy, guys. I'm happy. Oh, by the way, how you doing, Phil? Oh, I'm good. I'm happy. Okay, I didn't ask if you were happy, but no, I'm good. I'm just really happy. Okay. Yeah, no, if you have to say you're happy this many fucking times, you're not happy. And we can see you're not happy. It's pretty fucking clear. And I was rewatching the interview with Side Scrollers, right? And he mentioned something on there. I think eventually I'm going to actually go over that long ass interview. I haven't decided yet how I'm going to do that. I don't know if I should try streaming that. It's probably going to have to be multiple parts, though, just because of how fucking long that is. And with the way I talk, it might be even longer, so I haven't figured that out yet. But, like, at one point, he says, like, when he was living with Panda Lee, and, like, as an excuse as to why he was fapping on camera or something like that, that was my safe space. He doesn't call it his man cave or 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 like his man cave or his like I needed my private time or alone time, whatever. He calls it his safe space. He like Panda Lee was beating his ass or something is what like he was talking about. I'm like, that's not a sign. Like, obviously that was the previous relationship, but the way he talks about Kat now, the way he talks about his relationship, because always reveals way too much information, right? So every fucking day off that he gets, he goes on and on about this and that and how his relationships and blah 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 blah, right? And yet we can tell through those that he's not actually happy. He's really not. And that relationship is such a fucking sham. There's like, on a scale of like percentage wise, there's like maybe a 20% chance that's a legit loving relationship, but even that's giving it too much credit, probably. But yes, we're the short-minded, closed-minded ones, not you, right? Okay, yes, of course. Everyone else is wrong. The vast majority of people are wrong, and you're right. That's a surprise. Who knew that? Oh, right, I do, because you're always right about everything, and everyone else is the ones that are wrong. If you're surrounded by so many people all saying you're a piece of shit, maybe you're the piece of shit, Phil. Maybe it's not everyone else that has a problem with you. Maybe you're the problem. Have you ever thought of that? No, of course not.
Doing what
We're
I
the
do and
close-minded
being who I am. I don't have to answer to anyone. I don't have to change who I am to be happy.
I don't have to answer to anyone. Remember when I was playing the Morse Critical clip and I said, remember that? Here it is. It's like here. Yes, you have to answer to your fans. You don't do anything you want to do. You could do it, but you don't. You are a slave to your schedule. You are a slave to the opinions of your fans because you don't pick the games you want to play. If you actually loved gaming like you claim you do, you would just play games you want to play. But he doesn't. Hold on. But he doesn't, though. I'm trying to think of like a way to say it. Because when he wants to stop playing a game, he'll make 500 excuses on why he should stop playing that game to convince his fans that it's okay to stop playing that game. When in reality, all he would have to do is just say, "This game, I don't like this game. I'm going to stop playing it." That's all you have to fucking do. But every fucking game that he wants to wage crit because he's so terrified that him quitting a game would be considered a rage quit. He's like, I'm not raging at it, but like it's just I'm playing so many games at the time, and like he'll give a million excuses to justify to his fans why he should stop playing this game. And then he'll like, oh yeah, I was receiving a whole bunch of messages behind the scenes from different fans saying you should just drop this game, Phil. So I did. Like, you see, like it's his fans that are calling the shots, not him. And like in a way that's true for like a lot of content creators because you have to appease your main fans if you want to keep those donations and tips and income going, right? So I guess that's the nature of the beast, but like here he's trying to pretend and pass off that I answer to no one. That's why I don't have sponsors. How is a sponsorship any different from having to answer to your fans? Because your fans want you to say this or that, or don't want you to feel like you don't understand that. You don't like a game or something. And like he doesn't pick his own games. He always puts a poll to let his fans decide what game he's gonna play next, right? And then, like I said before, when he wants to quit a game, he's the slave to his own schedule that he makes. He himself makes. Oh, I wish I could take 2 days off a week, guys. You fucking can right now. Go ahead. No, you're a slave to your fans. You're a slave to your own greed, Phil. So you answer to your fans. You answer to your greed. You answer to your gambling, shopping addiction. There's many things you answer to. You're not just answering to no man. You're not like the. I forget what he actually even said. He was like, "You're not. You answer to a lot of people, Phil. You don't answer to no one. There's a lot of people controlling you. You're basically just a fucking puppet, and your fans and your addictions are pulling the strings, being dance, little puppet. Put on this cowboy vest. Put on the hat. And dance for us. Bitch.
Because I already am. The people who have these redemption arcs, they're miserable people. Oh, I hate who I am. I'm stuck in a rut. I got to do the same thing. It's not me.
Yes, it is. You're a horribly miserable person.
It's literally not me. I love coming here to streams and making this content with you guys
And now it's like he's trying to convince himself. It's reinforcement. The more he says it, like it's that positive reinforcement kind of thing. Where it's like, I love doing this. It's like a person who hates his job, right? And it's like, man, I gotta go to work at Walmart. Fuck. No, I love my job. It's gonna be a good day today. The customers are gonna be very nice today. There's not gonna be any problems today. Like it's almost like he's trying to manifest him his having being happy. He's trying to manifest and pull. It's like, brain, I need that serotonin. Please just give me that serotonin. I am happy. I'm happy in my life. I'm happy with my horse wife. I'm happy coming on to streams and playing these shitty games for these dumbass regarded individuals. I love it. I love talking to Derek. I'm super, super happy. Please.
every single day.
He's trying to manifest.
That's why I'm here. I wouldn't be here if I didn't enjoy it. I would find something else to do.
No, you wouldn't. You're too fucking lazy, Phil. If you really wanted more money or a more steadier income, you would have gotten a different job or a side hustle. There are so many things he could also do to supplement his income that he isn't doing. But he's too lazy and he knows he's so unskilled, he can't actually do anything else. This is it for him.
Or I would absolutely bank and capitalize on the drama and the shit. I don't want to. I like who I am. I like the meaningful content I'm putting out, the curated content for a certain audience. You understand?
Certain audience of idiots.
That's correct. Tuto Carlson says, I think Wings is now happy because he has a redemption arc. Wings literally sat on his streams every day saying he hated it. He hated his work. He hated his life. He was saying miserable things like this, that he was stuck in a rut doing things he didn't like. Now he likes what he's doing. Good for him. That's the redemption arc. Someone who was at the bottom and found a way to turn it around.
I mean, not to take anything away from Wings, but okay, after the boxing match, he won. Now what? I mean, he's probably just going to have to go back to playing the games unless he gets an actual job, right? Like, okay, he hated playing. I think it was with Wings too. He just hated playing those like competitive first-person shooters, which he could totally like switch it up and play different games that he liked. But like, I guess that brought the money in, and this goes back to again, like being a slave to your audience and then starting to resent them for it, like what Moist said. So like, okay, he's riding high now and getting more praise than he ever gotten before. But what happens when that starts to die out? Is he just gonna go back to doing that again and be miserable again? And like, he's acting like, oh, the only way someone could feel miserable is if they outright say they're miserable. That's what he's acting like. But yeah, let's continue. We're almost done with this one.
Around, and now is on a positive momentum. That's called a redemption arc. There you go. I like what I do. So does my audience. Everyone else just needs to leave me the fuck alone and stop trying to change me into some corrupted individual I don't want to be. I'm happy being Darkside Phil, the guy who's a small-time rinky-dink guy who has...
No! Oh my god! This man. You're not a rinky-dink small-time guy if you're making over $100,000 a year. And you're only making that much because you're constantly abusing and scamming your fucking fans, dumbass. God damn it. And no one's trying to change you to be some drama whore. I don't know where you're getting that. That was your fan that sent you that, not a detractor. What the hell are you talking about?
For a small audience, and we can have this personal interaction
Very
every time,
small
every day.
audience.
You understand? That's what it's all about. There's very different, right? I'm not miserable. I'm not sad. I like who I am and what I'm doing. I want to stay
Reinforcing
that person.
it,
and being that person,
manifesting
that level
it.
of content will never blow up and be redeemed on YouTube, because that's not what they want. They want to see me blow up in popularity for being a clown. I'm not ever going to be a clown. You understand? This is not going to happen.
It's too late. You already fucking are a clown, Phil. So, obviously that plan has failed because you would have already blown up because you are a clown. People fucking pay to have you dress up. You wear a dumbass cowboy hat. You wear some dumbass vest and you blow bubbles now with bubble guns and just shoot them off. How is that not a clown? Oh, it's different when he does it. Sorry, right. Ugly motherfucker. And then I'm just chewing on my finger. Wipe it off on the chair. Stare blankly at a chat that isn't moving. Actually, can we see the chat? No, we don't actually get to see the live chat on these.
No one's making any valid points. Someone says, you have bubble guns and you wear costumes for money. And?
Yeah, that emphasizes the fact that you are a fucking clown, dumbass. You wear...
No one's making any valid points. Someone says, you have bubble guns and you wear costumes for money. And?
That's a very valid point, actually, because you are a clown. The things you do are immature and clownish.
And what am I doing when we're doing that silly stuff? We have a laugh, and then we move on.
But no one else is allowed to have a laugh and move on and just having fun with their audience. Only Phil is granted that pleasure. Everyone else is not allowed to do that, apparently. Just him.
To doing more gameplay, to having more meaningful conversation, right? You're not tuning into the Dark Side Phil stream because you wanted to see me put on a cowboy hat, or because you wanted to see me shoot a bubble gun for 2 seconds.
Actually, I wouldn't be surprised if some of his dents are coming on to see you put on the thing. Because, let's face it, you've incorporated the hats and the vests and the bubbles into your content permanently, right? And you've brainwashed these individuals into them thinking they want that, right? So they are hardwired now to want to see the hat, wanting to see the vest, wanting to see the bubbles. It's like, I can't remember was it Pavlov with the dog whistle kind of thing, and the dog salivates? It's like that. It's like you've conditioned these dent heads to wanting to see the hats and the vests. So it is very much a big part of your content. You can't just pretend that it's something super quick that only lasts a couple minutes and then you're back to the gameplay, because no one's actually showing up for the gameplay. Everyone is showing up to see you dress up in a hat or a vest and to hear your dumbass opinions that are always wrong. That's what people show up for, Phil. That's what your fans show up for, because you've hardwired it into them and into your own content. It's not just some really passing by thing, or, it's fun. So no one else is allowed to have fun and do silly, goofy things, immature things, because then they're a clown and all this and that, and no one takes them seriously because they're super immature. But it's okay when he does it. Everything's fine when he does it. But if anyone else does the exact same thing he does, he'll shit all over.
Those things are nice. They're little frivolous things you could do that are nice. to add to it. It's a little bit of a celebration. It's a little silly. You know, sometimes you get a little silly to celebrate.
It's almost like it's a little immature, isn't it? A little silly, a little immature, a little childish even. But my fans aren't children. No, they're not children. They just have the same mindset as a child because they're mentally challenged. So you've conditioned and preyed upon them to give you all their money so that they can look forward to seeing you dress up. It's a big part of your actual content, Phil.
Being nice to you, right? But that's not the end-all be-all of my content. You understand that?
It actually is.
That's the difference, right? That's the big difference here. The point is, people can't see the truth because they don't want to, right? When you look at
the point is, your version of the truth is so fucked up and only in your head. So everyone else is looking at it objectively as what they see is what they get. And your warped view of what is actually happening is so fucked up and so warped. Obviously, no one else is going to see that. Only you are going to see that.
People who have hit their redemption arcs, it's because they hit their lowest lows. They hated who they were. They hated the
And you still got a very long way to go to the bottom. I don't even think you have a bottom, Phil. Your bottom, your very lowest low bottom arc is going to be homeless on the street somewhere, or maybe moving back home with your mommy and daddy in Connecticut and having them support you.
Out. They didn't see a way out. And then somehow something turned around for them, right?
You still got a little ways to go yet.
I'm not. People
You'll get there, don't worry.
People want me to be miserable. People say all the time, oh, we believe that Phil hates his content, hates his audience, hates all this. It couldn't be further from the truth. But that's what they want. They want to believe that because they can't believe that someone like me is happy.
No, that's just what I believe. It's not like I want to believe it. That's just how I see it. That's just how a lot of people see it. Now, there is a chance we could be wrong. Of course there is. Maybe he actually is happy. And more power to him if he actually is happy. And if we're totally wrong about this, right? More power to you, Phil, if you're actually happening. We're just remarking on what we see. And what we see seems to come off and tell us that you're just not very happy and you're kind of a slave to your own audience. So yes, we could be wrong. I don't want to believe it. I don't even really have a goal. I don't really want you to be miserable. I don't really want you to be happy. I'm kind of indifferent to you. You're kind of a piece of shit. Okay, I take that back. You're a piece of shit. And you probably deserve a lot worse than what you have. And you'll probably never actually get your actual comeuppance. But, I mean, I'm not going to wish super ill will on someone. I'm just going to continue to laugh at what I see and give my opinion based on what I am observing. So it's not like I want him to be super miserable. I don't really want him to be happy either. It's just, I'm just remarking on how I see it. And the way I see it, he's not happy. But that's just how I'm seeing it. Again, I could be totally wrong. Could be right. But, like, I don't really care either way. You're not, contrary to what he thinks, he's not on my mind 24/7. He's really not. Like, I'll watch some detractor videos here and there. I'll make a video here and there. But I have a life outside of the internet, Phil. So, like, I have a job. I have a life outside of the internet. I play my own video games. I read manga. So, like, I'm not thinking about you 24/7. It's just, you're a reality TV show to us, really. You're a laughing stock that deserves to be laughed at. And I think Shinko said it. Or maybe someone else said it. I can't remember who actually said it. But it's like, there is something very human and very nice about having someone to shit on and having someone to hate that actually deserves it, to having an enemy that you have that actually deserves it and isn't just like misunderstood or isn't. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people have like people they don't like only because they're misunderstood, or or maybe they're innocent or whatever. I'm not very good with words right now. I'm sorry about that again. But there's something to it, to having someone you can shit on, having someone you can make fun of constantly, having someone to be your enemy, having someone you can express your anger towards, that you can do so without feeling any guilt whatsoever, because you know the target is someone so vile and depraved that you feel no guilt towards doing so. And there's something very human and very pure about that. I'm not saying it's healthy, but there is something to it. So I feel like I like this because I can vent all my frustrations on this punching bag of a human being here, right? And I don't feel any guilt in venting my anger and frustrations on him, because in a way he really has brought this all upon himself. In another way, I highly doubt he knows who I am or watches any of my shit. So like I don't really have to worry about him like talking about me or anything like that. And even if he does, I welcome it. I would laugh my ass off. But like, so it's like it's something very human about that. Like, cuz we all have frustrations and anger, and we just need to vent a lot of the time. And that's a very human thing. And sometimes like it's good to like have a healthy dose of anger. You know what I mean? All these different emotions, they come and go like waves, right? And like we really should stop and actually feel them out and ride them out for a little while. And to deny our own emotions is to deny being human. And it's very good to exercise in some of those emotions sometimes. When you're feeling it, when you're riding that wave of emotion, it's good to actually not act on it, but like have a proper way to express and vent that. And I give you Philip Brunel, the punching bag. In his own words, he's the punching bag, but it wasn't memes that made him the punching bag. It wasn't this is how you don't play. It was his own actions. It was him being a horrible human being. And it would be different if he actually did change and actually was trying to be better. But that has not happened yet. And I don't think that's ever going to happen. I could be wrong again. And if he actually did try to change, I would actually ease up a bit. Or I would still shit on some of the stuff that he used to do, but I wouldn't shit on his current stuff, at the very least. But that's never going to happen now, is it?
Putting out small time content. They can't believe it. What? Phil actually just wants to make this content for his small audience? Yes. Yes, I really do.
No one cares about that. A lot of people do that. We're fine with that. No one cares. What are you talking about?
That's actually, back in the day when I started on YouTube, that's what I was intending. That I would have a small audience.
Touch my hair some more.
Stuff that I was putting out. I never really took it that seriously.
No, you were trying so hard to make it to be the biggest YouTuber. You were trying so hard to be super virally popular and the big head honcho. You were so jealous of people like Markiplier, PewDiePie, Tobuscus, all these people you were so jealous of.
It was just
you wanted to be there.
Frivolous hobby, a joke. I never intended to become someone who did this for a living. I never intended to blow up on YouTube. You know what I mean? It just kind of happened.
No, you just wanted to make money off YouTube.
Unhappened when people decided it was more funny to make fun of me and bring me down, right? Than it was to actually be a part of the positivity of the content I was putting out.
Because there is no positivity.
People who say shit like that, Phil needs to be redeemed. They don't watch the content, nor do they want to. They would never just watch the content.
Yeah, because if they actually watch the content, they'll be like, oh, sorry, there's no redeeming this man. He's beyond redemption. DSP, beyond redemption.
Understand the positivity we have here. They want to believe that I'm a
redemption.
miserable individual who hates his life and
Yeah,
needs to be redeemed.
you
'cause it
kind of
makes them feel
are.
better
That's
about
how I
themselves
see
and
it,
the shit that
Phil.
they put out. They don't get it because they're not there. It's kind of like I say about my marriage too. If you've never been happy and in a position where you're truly happy, you would never understand someone who's happy because you haven't had it. You maybe even believe it
What?
doesn't exist. There's people who cannot believe that I'm happy sitting here putting out this content for you every day.
Wait. So that makes no sense. I think we need to get Steve of the Dead in here. Steve, can you comment on this, please? Can people who are not happy and not love recognize when other people are happy and have love? I think they can, because people who have actual depression can see, it can recognize when other people are happy and in a loving home or whatever. And like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty sure people can actually recognize when someone else is actually like, okay, so like suppose like I have been bad I'm diagnosed with having depression and anxiety, right? I'm on an antidepressant pill to help manage my depression. I'm trying not to give too much information, but that's all I'm going to say. So I have dealt with depression for a long period of my life, right? I'm the pill helps a hell of a lot. So there's that. But when I was not taking a pill, right? I could still recognize when other people were like laughing, having not a care in the world, having a great time, and wishing that could be me. Seeing everyone having a loving family surrounding them, having great time, not really caring. Now, could that have been just a mask or a front that they were showing? True, that could have been. I don't know what their life was like behind closed doors. None of us do. But I was seeing how people were portraying themselves in public, and I could recognize that at least they seemed to be happy. Because we all wear different masks. Who I portray myself as in public could be radically different than who I am behind closed doors, right? Every one of us could. So, in a way, like he could be right. Like maybe I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this. I don't think DSP is that good of an actor or ever felt the need to put on a mask, to put on a front. He is very paper thin. He is so transparent. If he's having a bad day, you will see he is having a bad day. He cannot hide that, right? So he is an awful actor. We all saw Project 7. We know how bad his acting is. So if he's having a great day, we're going to see that. If he's having a bad day, we're going to see that because he just can't hide that. That he wears his heart on his sleeve 100% of the time. So he is actually very easy to read and understand and see. And we all get that. We all see that. That's why a lot of people say and argue that he's just not very happy in his life. You can put on all the fake smiles you want. That doesn't hide the look in your eye. That, like, the eyes are the windows to the soul, my friends. And if you actually look at his eyes, you can tell he is miserable. Now, I'm not wishing that on him. That's just how I see it. And given our history with him, given the detractors' histories with him, we know he cannot hide how he feels. So, we know that since he can't act, he can't hide his feelings. We know this, so we know he's just not putting up a mask and is actually really super happy behind the scenes because we see him like that, right? So I'm sorry, Phil, but I'm gonna disagree with you here. But yeah,
a liar. He's making it up. He,
Oh, you're 100% lying. You have so many ticks and tells for when you lie. It's super obvious. Like, you have the worst poker face, my dude.
I have evidence that he hates his job and he hates his viewing audience. What are you talking about? Again, I have opportunity. I have so many opportunities to do other shit that people are offering me on a daily basis.
You do have opportunities. You just turn them all down constantly because you're a moron.
Go do a podcast, do this kind of content, this show. Join us for this. I don't want to do any of it. I just love who I am and what I'm.
He doesn't want to do any of that because he's still shell-shocked from the side scrollers incident and how badly that fucked him over. So he's just so afraid to do any kind of I keep wanting to say cooperative, but that's not it. Like, he's so afraid to do anything with anyone else for a long time. He's just gonna hide in his little hug box because he's so afraid of what had happened. And he's just, yeah, he realizes how bad that made him look, so he's just never gonna do that with anyone ever again.
I'm doing now, and this is what I want. I want this to evolve into more things as I get older that I control. I am the master of my own destiny. Nobody else. No one else is
your chat is
lock me into something that I can't control, and now I'm that's when I would truly be miserable. If I gave up control of who I am, all right, in order to make money. That would essentially be the ultimate failure for me. And if you want to see Darkside Phil unhappy, that's when I would be unhappy. But being that I am the master of my destiny right now and no one can tell me what to do or what kind of content to put out, that's where it's at, man. And, you know, there's highs and lows. There's times of popularity and there's times of strife. And there's all kinds of stuff that happens and goes along hand in hand with that. But the fact that no matter what, I still am able to have fun with you guys on a daily basis.
Fun.
We're still able to love this kind of positive, non-destructive content. And that's a big key factor. What I'm making here on streams every day is not destructive to anyone. No one.
Maybe on your actual gameplay, maybe. Like, if on his actual gameplay he's not shitting on developers, he's not shitting on how bad of a game is and all this stuff, then I would argue that maybe it's positive. No, it's not. It's not either, because he's still, during his gameplay, shitting on his fans and his dents constantly. So even then it's not positive. And then it gets even more negative on his podcast. So I'm sorry, Phil. You're not positive on any of your streams. Because you're either shitting on developers, shitting on a game, shitting on your fans, shitting on someone in the news or news story that you fucking saw. Like, he doesn't see this as... How does he see that as fucking positive, though? And then, yeah, he has the balls to come up and say Keemstar fucking has no morals and is a misery broker and all this other shit. When you do the same shit. Like, how are you any different, though? You're constantly shitting on everyone. You're putting down your fan. You're yelling at your chat all the time. How is that any different, Phil?
No one's being hurt by it. No one's being brought down, derided. No one's, you know what I mean?
Your chat's being derided. You shit-talking Keemstar constantly. That's deriding him. That's bringing him down. All this shit.
Fun,
so
positive
yeah,
content.
That's not fun and
what
positive.
I strive to do for the rest of my life if I can. You understand? I just want to have fun and play games.
AKA he's gonna die on stream
in some way every day and not have to hurt others to get ahead. But that's what people on the internet who think about these redemption arcs don't understand. They don't get that. How could he like who he is or what he's doing? He needs redemption. No, I don't. What I need is for you to leave me the fuck alone and mind your own business and move on.
Reminder, again, this was a fan of his that sent him this message. So, in his own response, he is bringing down, deriding a fan of his who sent him a tip comment. So much for positivity, huh? Positive content? Where's the positive content when you shit on your fans for asking you a single fucking question, huh?
No one needs saving here. If anyone, you do. If you're so infatuated with me,
this
you're
was
the one
not
with the
a troll
problem,
that sent
not
you
me.
this.
I'm doing all right. Okay. Anyway. Oh, my chat is screwed up. Hold on. Okay. We do have to adjourn the show. It's gone way too long, guys. Jimmy tipped me $1. Thank you, Jimmy. There we go.
Jimmy!
And someone to me $1.25 says, I remember when you had your brown chair. If you hit a certain level, you would do a chair spin. I miss when you did that. Well, that was certainly a different kind of chair. It was a piece of crap, by the way, and it ended up breaking down because of that.
That
too.
dumbass fucking chair spin that Cat thought was gonna be a fucking good idea. Really? You missed that? Again. Chet is not the smartest in his...
That's what I mean. Those silly little things, right? Oh, Phil hit a support goal, so he spun in his chair for like 20 seconds.
Kind
Phil
of
hit a support goal,
immature,
he puts on
Phil.
a hat, or he puts on a pair of glasses. Oh, you see, you're a clown. How?
Because you're a clown?
Is this the focus of the stream? No, it's not. What are you talking about? But again, they have to justify.
So the people that are clowns, is that the focus of their stream because they dyed their hair? Or because they jumped at jump scares or made a fake scare or a scream or something? That's not the focus of their streams either now, is it?
Believe that someone like me could be happy and successful. They can't stand it. But wait, you didn't degrade yourself. You didn't act like an asshole. You didn't completely sell out. You didn't do this. You didn't do the things everyone else is doing. How is that possible? Want to know why?
Begging.
I fucking ignored you.
How is that possible? Well, see, it's really easy. It's called begging. You should try it sometime. All you gotta do is ask your fans for money, and he kind of does it.
That's why. Because I ignored you and your shit, and your shitty way of living, and your shitty lack of morality and philosophy. There you go. Okay. I look like a native Oklahoman in a hat, I'm being told. That's interesting. All right. My friends, I think it is time.
I'm not your friend,
show
Phil.
for today. Thank you very much.
Not your friend. All right. Hopefully this segment isn't too long here.
But you get what you need. Not so when you're playing those kind of games. All right. We got, let's see here, another tip. This dollar tipper says, you say you don't have aspirations to be a successful YouTuber. I didn't say that. I said I don't have aspirations to be a large YouTuber or a viral YouTuber, someone who blows up in popularity. Wouldn't it help you and your family if you generated as much money as possible? Yes.
Yeah, so why don't you?
Sometimes your family's well-being is above your pride. Comment on this.
Look at that face. Look at that fucking face when he reads that. I gotta bring that back. Look at his fucking face.
Family's well-being is above your pride. Comment on this. Yeah, it's not a matter of pride. See, this is the thing. And this is where people get a lot of things wrong. Okay? I'll give you an example. All right? I will. I'll give you an example.
Oh, please do, Philip.
In the United States, there's a business. The business is called Walmart. All right? It's a ginormous chain business. Okay?
Well, what does this have to do with your pride?
This business
This is Walmart,
incredibly
Phil.
cheap to shop at.
What?
Because they have some of the best deals with
Hello?
suppliers.
Phil,
But they
wait.
also get a lot of
Stop.
low-grade products.
What are you talking about,
Essentially,
Phil?
if you go to Walmart and you shop for your house or you shop grocery shopping or whatever, likely you'll spend less money at Walmart than you will at any other store in your local area. Okay? It's just kind of proven. They have the best prices. The problem with Walmart is that they destroy local business
I
because their
need
prices
my
are
boy
cheaper.
for you.
All the other businesses in the area end up getting negatively affected. In a lot of cases, they just go out of business because they can't compete. In addition, the grade of products at Walmart is lower than what you can usually get at a
What
local
does this
store.
have to do
So
with
even
your
though it's cheaper,
pride?
you're getting
What?
lower grade stuff, unhealthier foods, lower quality products that break right away. So you pay less, but you get less. You see? In addition to all of that, Walmart is infamously one of the worst companies in America when it comes to treating their employees with any kind of dignity or respect. It's been proven time and time again.
Well, that's basically all retail everywhere. It's not just Walmart.
They won't pay them enough.
But
They won't
why
give
are
them
we
hours
talking
they
about
need to have a living
Walmart?
wage. They just basically mistreat their
What
employees.
does this have to do with the question?
This has been documented. The reason Walmart gets away with it is because they're such a big company. They're so big, they're almost immune to any kind of repercussions for wrongdoing.
That's capitalism, Philip. That's how America works. All these people who shit on socialism all the time, but love capitalism and preach about it all the time, and then complain about stupid shit like this. I'm like, yeah, that's capitalism. That's monopoly. What are you
So because
talking
of
about?
that, they get away with all this stuff.
Like slap.
And so many people
What does this
say,
have to
we
do
don't
with
like
anything?
Walmart, we don't agree with Walmart, and then they go shop at Walmart. All right? I'm the kind of guy that doesn't shop at Walmart. I haven't.
So you're a moron. So he's refusing to be. What? Still, what does this have to do with the question? Please tell me that. Like, yeah, people will complain and bitch about Walmart, but as you said, Walmart drove all the other stores out of business, or most of the stores, are family-owned stores, out of business. So where the fuck else are they gonna shop? A lot of smaller towns only have Walmart to shop in. What are you gonna do when that? Like, I don't know how big Renton is, but like, I'm pretty sure it's like bigger than a lot of these smaller. Like, I live in the middle of like upstate New York. There's nothing but fucking farms and like dairy farms and fields for a long way. It's a lot of like rural area. It's not like urban. It's pretty desolate, right? So like in a lot of these places, all the town has to shop at is either a Dollar General if it's really, really small, or a Walmart if it's somewhat big. And that's kind of it. Oh, right. And because we're in New York, we have a shitload of fucking pizza places also for some reason. Like, oh, like the one, like, town. Well, I don't, it's not a town, but it's like a very small city kind of thing. And like, there are like way too many fucking pizza places where I am. It's weird. Like, family owned pizza places too. It's not even chains. But there's no actual family owned stores anywhere. It's all big corporation stores. So, am I gonna go and buy shit at Walmart or Target? They're all the same fucking place. So, where am I gonna go? Or maybe BJ's Wholesale Club, which is the same as a Costco. But, like, how is that any better? Like, and what does this have anything to do with the question, Phil? And I know what he's going to try to spin because he's going to pretend that he has morals of some sort, right? But this proves nothing. Like, absolutely nothing. And it also proves that he's never had to deal with actually being poor or actually worrying about money. Because if he was actually frugal with his money and trying to actually save money, he would fucking shop at Walmart because it is cheaper to go to Walmart than it is to go to Whole Foods or Kroger's or Wegmans or wherever the fuck else they're going to. Okay? Like, yeah, okay, maybe all the stores I just listed and more, right? Honestly, unless you find like an antique store or a very small like mom and pop store that actually like makes shit themselves here in America, but that's very, very rare and very hard to find. If it's any sort of bigger store, like a Target, uh, obviously Walmart, any furniture store, any like Bed Bath and Beyond, all these places, they're all these products are being made in the same place, right? So it's like they're all being made in fucking China or overseas and they're being shipped here and sold. It doesn't matter if you go to Walmart or not. They the same products that are in Walmart right now are in Target, are in these other stores that you do go to. So your morals in this instance mean nothing. They don't mean anything because you're still buying the cheaper products that don't last as long. Nothing lasts as long, Phil. I still have a dresser in my room that my dad had when he was a child, made of solid oak. And that shit is like indestructible, right? But if I go to IKEA today, or Walmart, or Target, or any of these furniture stores, and buy a dresser, it's made of cheap particle board that's made super fucking cheap and made to be assembled super quick and will last maybe 5 to 10 years if you're lucky. Maybe. Nothing is made as good quality as it was back in my parents' and my grandparents' generation, right? So back in like the 40s, 50s, 60s, those things were actually made to last. Even their cars were made to last. But unfortunately, companies today have realized that if we make our products crappier, if we make our products deteriorate over time, if we put a kill date in our products, especially Apple is really famous for the like slowly winding down their batteries on their phones and shit. So if the products stop working sooner, then the customer will come back in and have to buy the product over again. Sorry. Sorry about that. The customer will have to come in and buy the product over again, um, and make more money doing it that way. So, like, yeah, like that's how companies work nowadays. It's not just Walmart, dumbass. It's every company. Any kind of corporation type company is going to be doing this. It's not just a Walmart thing. Because companies have figured out there's more money in making things not last as long so that they will break faster so that people can go and buy the more of the same item over and over again throughout their lifetime as opposed to just buying one and having it last their whole lifetime and having it be passed down or whatever. Like I'm pretty sure they do that for light bulbs too, because I think the company that was making the like general light bulbs at the time realized that they weren't making as much money because they were making decent quality light bulbs that would last a really fucking long time. So they actually started having to make faults, like put intentional faults into the light bulbs so that they would burn out eventually. That's why if you go and look it up, there's a light bulb that has been on for over 100 years. It's still burning now. The light bulb is still working to this day. I think it's still working to this day. But it's been on for over 100 years. That's how good a quality things used to be in this country. That's what made this country number one. It's not number one anymore, Phil. Far, far from it. We are a first world, third world country nowadays. Okay? And we get all our products from overseas because corporations are greedy as fuck. So they get products that are more cheaply made and ship them over here and sell it to you so that those products will eventually break within 5 to 10 years so you can come back and buy a new product. It literally does not matter where you buy your product from, it's gonna be made by the same people. So there's no moral high ground, no grandstanding for not shopping at Walmart. It does not make any difference whatsoever. Go to Target. You'll find the same shit on the shelves there that you see in Walmart. Guaranteed. Same things if you go to Whole Foods or all these other places. Maybe not Whole Foods actually, because I think organic is slightly different. Yeah, I think organic's different because it's not sprayed with pesticides and all that other shit that you try to feed us. But I'm talking more in terms of like furniture and like built stuff, not so much food. Um, Literally, I don't really know that many furniture stores because again, all I have in this like small city is a Walmart, a Target, like a million like Metro mattresses for some fucking reason. There was like a million of those. But like in terms of furniture, like that's kind of all we got. Like I don't have any big lots or I don't know, does Best Buy even sell any furniture anymore? I don't even know where you would go to get like Sears. Like you'd have to go to the bigger city for those. Go to the mall like an hour drive away. But yeah, so it's like you go to any of these stores and they're gonna be the same thing. So your argument, even though we still don't know what this has to do with the question, it makes no sense. Your morals mean shit because you shopping or not shopping at Walmart literally does not mean anything, right? It's like in a lot of situations, like I said, they have no other choice but to fucking go to Walmart, right? Like, I personally choose not to go to Chick-fil-A because I don't agree with their business practices. I don't agree with them donating money to hate campaigns against LGBT people, right? Now, if you actually look at the metadata, a lot of actual corporations like Walmart and I don't think Target for that one, but I know Walmart and a lot of other places actually do donate money to like anti-LGBT Christian not funds, it's like not corporations either. It's like service sources that then use that money to like try to like go against LGBT people and set up these programs and try to pass more bills against like all that stuff, right? So like, but again, I try to go to Target when I can for some of that, but I don't know if that makes any difference or not. I don't know. Like, I don't have the time to sit down and check every single fucking store in my area to see where they're donating money to here or there or anything like that, right? And I know Walmart does that, but sometimes Walmart is the only place around here that sells some of the shit that I need to buy. So it's like, am I going to drive an hour or two to go to a different store to buy that? No, I'm not. Because at the end of the day, I'm fucking lazy. And I'm not going to drive an extra 2 hours for some bullshit morals that doesn't really add up to anything, really. But there are other places that I can go and buy a better tasting, yummier, more delicious chicken sandwich. So that is one choice I do make. I could go to Popeyes. I can go to KFC. I can eat, like, I don't have a Church's Chicken, unfortunately, but I would really like to try that. But, like, there are other places I can go to get a chicken sandwich. There are not other places I can go to replace a Walmart, though. So, this is all coming from a place of privilege. Privilege, white, upper class privilege of being in a bigger populated area and having a lot more income than normal people do. If you were actually hurting for money like you claim, then you would actually go to Walmart because it has cheaper options than these other places you actually go and shop at, Phil. So shut the fuck up.
I think in the entirety of my life, I maybe have bought something at Walmart twice. Once I actively went in there and did buy something, normally, many years ago. That was probably no exaggeration, 20 years ago. And then the other time was when I bought a couple of joysticks during the era of Street Fighter 4. They were selling these joysticks you could buy online, and you could have them shipped to the Walmart store. And then I got them, and they were joysticks that I modded with my friends. Okay? The only reason I bought them at Walmart is the only place they were available. We couldn't find them anywhere else. They were sold out everywhere else. Okay?
Really sold out everywhere else. Did you check
And it just
eBay?
so happens the 2 times I went to Walmart, I had a horrible time. It was just horrible. The place is a mess. No employees that are there to really help you. Why? Because they don't hire enough people, nor do they pay them well. So I don't blame the employees. I blame the business. People acting like fools. When I went there to get the joysticks, all right, you go to the area, the desk where you're supposed to get online pickup. There's nobody there. So I'm there. There's no one there. I have to go to the other parts of the store and grab an employee and say, does anyone work over here? You know, I need to get something online pickup. It took about 20 minutes to get someone there, and
So yeah, I work in retail, Phil. I've worked in retail for a long time, unfortunately, right? Um, for the ship to home, no, not the ship to home. The what he's talking about, the order placement thing, where it's like you order it online and it gets shipped to the store, and then the people come in. Whatever, they usually have like 1 or 2 employees that do that, and that's it. Because Walmart is cheap as hell, so they want like every one employee there to do the job of like 2 or 3 employees. So they'll have one person there, usually early on the morning, and they'll go home around like 5 p.m. or so, or 4 or 5 p.m. or something, and then no one else is left to do that for the rest of the day. So like, oh yeah, you self-checkout person, you're right next to it, so you could handle that, even though they've never been trained in doing any of that shit. So it's not on the actual employee's fault. It's because management doesn't actually bother to have enough people stocked or placed throughout the schedule throughout the day to actually handle that. Again, it's just poor management. It's not the employee's
the person
fault.
who was supposed to work there. She's like, I have no clue who the person who's supposed to work there is, but I'm going to try to help you. It took her about an hour to go to the back and find the joysticks that were there.
Big mistake. You see this big of a fucking Karen approach you and complain about something, anything at retail, you're like, oh yeah, I'll help you. You leave, you go in the back, and you just continue on with your work and do other jobs, and you just fucking leave him there. That's what you fucking do. That's what I would do. If they complain super a lot, or are like, and you know he's not like the most personal person, he was probably acting like a massive douchebag entitled prick like he is. I'm like, yeah, if you act like a super rude jackass to me, I'm not actually going to go out of my way to help you. And I'm just going to like go about my normal job that I'm actually paid to do and not help some prissy little bitch who's just not even my job to help. It's honestly supposed to be someone else's job. And it's management's fault. They're not scheduling enough people to actually go throughout the day to do it. So have a manager fucking deal with them, not me. Especially this
one even understood the process. So finally I got my joysticks after waiting about an hour and a half. It should have been something that should have been 2 minutes.
Well, you could have shipped them to
Walmart,
home too.
in a nutshell, okay?
That's so retail in a nutshell.
Are there means?
Yes, what is the point?
I could get ahead. Yes. Absolutely. There's many means by which I could get ahead. I could try to monetize so many different things. I could try to monetize the toxicity, the hatred, and the negativity that's tossed toward me.
You should, because you're just giving out drama for free and not monetizing it. So you probably fucking should be doing that, honestly.
I could try to make my trolls into a dollar sign. I could do that.
You should.
It would mean
instead of ignoring
my
them.
content. It would mean that instead of being someone who I feel makes meaningful content that's positive for the internet and for the world.
Well, that's your fault because, again, it's not... Wait. What?
That instead of being someone who I feel makes meaningful content that's positive for the internet and for the world.
And for... Motherfucker. Let me full blast that shit. Hold on. I want you to hear that as loud as possible.
I'm making shit. I'm making handfuls of shit that I'm throwing all over the internet.
Go back a little bit.
Mean that instead of being someone who I feel makes meaningful content that's positive for the internet and for the world, instead
For the world, Philip? For the fucking world. Do you have that big of a fucking ego that you think your content is a positive contribution to the fucking world? How big of an ego do you have to think that your content is a positive influence on the world as a whole? You are nothing. You are gonna be forgotten as soon as you go off the internet, Phil. Your content is not gonna stand the test of time. You're gonna be forgotten, and I am too, and I'm okay with that. But you're the delusional motherfucker over here who honestly thinks like I can get I have meaningful. I mean, I can't, but like he really thinks that his content is that meaningful and that positive of an impact that it's gonna affect the entire fucking world. Oh yes, you're gonna raise the positive vibration of this planet up and help spur on a great mass awakening of the general public with your positive, light-filled message of fuck Keemstar and all this toxic content that you already put out that is somehow also positive, even though you shit on everyone all the fucking time. Are you fucking serious? For the fucking world. How delusional is that? I almost forgot that. Holy shit.
Instead, I'm making shit. I'm making handfuls of shit that I'm throwing all over the internet and just making it a worse place to be for the fact that I can make some money. In addition, there have been
yeah, you actually are. Let's go back a little bit for that. You are making shit.
Instead of being someone who I feel makes meaningful content that's positive for the internet and for the world.
And for the world, I went back too far.
I'm making handfuls of shit that I'm throwing all over the internet. And
yeah, you are making shit that you're throwing all over the internet. That's what your content actually is. Not some positive influence on the entire fucking world.
Making it a worse place
Jesus.
For the fact that I can make some money. In addition, there have
that's
been many
what you're doing.
over the years that I've been offered sponsorship opportunities. Usually these days I get offered them by indie games, mobile games.
Oh, I don't have that here. Let me just hold on.
In addition, there have been many opportunities over the years. I'm making handfuls of shit that I'm throwing.
138. I'm gonna have to clip that for later.
Throwing all over the internet and just making it a worse place to be for the fact that I can make some money. In addition, there have been many opportunities over the years that I've been offered sponsorship opportunities. Usually these days I get offered them by indie games, mobile games, that kind of stuff. They want you to play their game on your stream and do a paid advertisement segment to advertise their game, and they pay you a set amount for it. All right?
Gee, why would mobile games be interested in having a sponsorship from you, huh? I mean, that's kind of a good idea for you since you play mobile games all the fucking time. If you actually played it online and got a paycheck from it, that would be a lot better than pretending you don't have one and then stealing your fucking fans' money to go and pay it, wouldn't it? Makes more sense to me, honestly.
And I refuse to do it. Why? Because as you know, I'm someone who prides himself on being able to be believed when it comes to what I say about games. When I play a video game, all right, you know that what I'm telling you is my honest opinion.
And that's the problem. No one can trust your honest opinion anyway. Because what is the motto of this channel, which I still need to work on the actual thing, but it's never trust Phil's opinion on anything. Phil's opinion is always the opposite of what's actually going on. 99.9% of the time, his opinion is the opposite of what is actually happening in real life. So if he says a game is amazing, it's shit. If he says a game is shit, it's usually pretty fucking good. So your opinion means jack shit anyway because you're not a real gamer and your opinions are half-assed and uninformed and you have extremely high expectations that can't ever be met by any game ever made. So shut the fuck up.
Because I don't have to be beholden to anyone. No one is paying me to say.
Again, the whole thing was like, I'm not a slave to anyone. I'm not beholden to anyone. Except my addictions, except my fans.
Say this or say that about it, right? So you know it's honesty. I have no incentive.
It's your fucked up view of what you think honest is, but that's not actually what's actually happening now, is it? It's your warped delusions.
To say something's good because I don't benefit by saying something's good. No one's going to pay me and give me a kickback for saying it was good. I have no incentive to say something's
It's almost
bad
like no one really cares about your opinion on games because they're always wrong.
On a game, you know what I'm saying? Like either way doesn't benefit. So you know when I'm saying something, it is my truthful opinion about it. See? So that's one of the major reasons.
And that's just it. He honestly thinks his opinions on games hold so much weight. He honestly thinks that it's such like his honest opinion on a game is like his like unbreakable, unfathomable. This is my opinion on the game, so that is the actual truth going on. If this game sucks, I don't like it, so that means this game is factually, objectively bad, even though I'll give bullshit reasons for why it's bad, warped perspectives of why this game is bad. That means this game is factually bad, and anyone who actually likes this game is a moron. That's not a good opinion, Phil. Your opinions mean jack shit, and your reasons why you form your opinions mean diddly shit. None of this matters. Every opinion you have is fucking wrong. Everyone. So it doesn't matter what you think about a game. No one is watching you for your opinion on a game. I would dare say even your fans don't really care what you think about a game or not, because they can watch you play a game and can form their own opinion on a game based. Actually, that's not even true either, is it? Because when he plays a game, he makes games look so fucking shitty. So, like, his actual fans that watch him can't even form an objective opinion on if they'll go, a subjective opinion, on if they're going to like that game or not, because the way he plays games make those games look twice as bad as they actually play. You take his footage of someone playing a game and you put it next to actual gameplay from like a decent person at playing the game, or just even like a gameplay trailer that the game is shown from like the devs or whatever, you'll see like decent gameplay over here. That's like what the actual game is, like what a good experience of what the actual game will be like with you playing it. And then you'll see some like monkey over here fucking up everything, making the game look total shit. And you'd be like, gee, I wonder which game looks better. And then the monkey over here will say this game is shit, plays like shit, because he doesn't take the time to actually understand and learn the game. And he'll try to brute force his way through the game by smashing his head against a brick wall, and then complain when he's all bloodied that that game sucks. Meanwhile, the person over here is flying through the game, having a great old time, enjoying everything. You see what I'm saying? So you can't even form your own subjective opinion on any game that he plays when you're watching him play a game, because of that's how bad he is. He can't even portray what an actual experience of playing the game is like, because he's just that bad at games. So it's like you can't even form your own subjective opinion. And then I wonder how many of his actual fans then trust his opinion and they end up missing out on actual good games because Monkey over here said the game was shit. So he'll shit on all these he'll shit on all these actual good games because he didn't understand the game, and his denthead fans will just believe that's the actual objective truth and just skip these the actual good games and miss out on it because their Fuhrer over here said so.
This is why I still have a positive viewer base that comes by, right? The only way that really I could get ahead in the modern day right now would be absolutely positively to sell out. You know what I would have to do? I would have to take that 50 grand from Keemstar, all right? Be on a fucking dumbass lolcow podcast where essentially the show is going to be probably us just making fun of ourselves and each other, embracing troll memes and troll culture, being toxic all over the fucking internet, right? And essentially...
Isn't that kind of what being a content creator is in a way, though? Even the biggest name content creators I know will, at the very least, have sponsors, right? So, like, a big content creator I really like is Wendy Goon, right? Like, he's fucking awesome. I love his takes on everything. His videos are great. And he'll have a little ad at the beginning of every video from a different sponsor here or there. It's not that intrusive. It's literally like maybe 2 minutes. And you can skip it by just skipping on the video, so you don't even have to watch it. And that's how he makes money. He doesn't beg his audience for fucking money. That's the nature of being a content creator, by taking sponsorships, by collaborating with other people, by joining a successful podcast with other people, have some laughs, kind of like lightheartedly joke about yourself, have some laughs, take that $50,000 as a sign-up bonus, probably make even more money, and then maybe a half a year to a year down the line, you guys can probably sell that like podcast to someone else or something and make even more money, and then it's literally only taken 1 day out of the entire week for you to do that. To do 1 episode a week. How hard is that, huh? That's what being an actual content creator is all about. If you don't actually like doing that, then yeah, you're gonna fail at it. Like he's failing at it. He's gonna forever be on level 1, constantly begging his fans for money. And he's over here, and the madness of this man is he thinks he's successful doing what he's doing. And he's not. Because, like, no one's ever told him that a content creator is not supposed to continually ask for tips, and content creators are not supposed to live off of tips and donations, right? That's not supposed to be the bulk of their income. They're supposed to be making money on sponsorships, ad revenue. That's where their income is supposed to come from, not from tips and donations. Tips and donations are great every now and then, but that's not supposed to be 90% of your fucking income. That doesn't make you a successful... Sorry, Jesus. That doesn't make you a successful content creator, Phil. That makes you a fucking pariah and a leech. Just trying to take as much money as you can from the same 5 to 10 fucking people. And you have the audacity to come on here and think that what you're doing is like a good thing, and you're making curated content for 5 to 10 people. I'm like, and your fucking views on your videos are dying, man.
Ignoring the 15 years of great work that I feel I've done on this internet and throwing it all away. Taking a big trash can here. Going just like this.
Oh my gosh. This man is a clown.
Taking my trash can and saying, here we go. 15 years of my life.
Oh, wait. I should do the detractor thing where it's like, oh man, I wonder what brand that trash can is. He probably paid $40 to $50 for that fucking trash can. I bet. And let's look at everything else. Oh, I bet these statues over here, I bet they're worth a lot of money too. Look at all this money he's wasting. Did I do it right?
Towards good things. Take that and fucking throw it out. All of the.
But don't you see all that's fucking subjective and not objective? You can't have any piece of content that is objectively good or objectively bad. Because I look at his content and it's total shit. But there's at least one other person on this earth who will look at this content and somehow think it's really good. And they'll watch him unironically every fucking day thinking this shit's good. So, because you have that dichotomy of people thinking this is good or thinking this is bad or in between or boring or whatever the fuck, it cannot be objectively good or bad. It can only ever be subjective. You see? So it can't ever be objectively good. But he thinks that every single fucking time he turns on his camera, it's always objectively good, and no one could ever argue that it's not good unless they're biased and a detractor and they have something against him from something else he did a long time ago. And even if that's the case, he changed and all this other fucking excuses that he has. My fucking God. And then, he says this about him. Oh, yeah, I should just, because that would be like me, like this false analogy of him throwing out his 15 years of content, which doesn't mean fucking jack shit anyway. It's just fucking this landfill of shit that's just taking up so much space on the YouTube server. And it doesn't mean anything. But he says that, but he'll go and in a panic just delete all of his fucking pre-stream podcast, level 1 podcast. Like how many fucking I don't remember how many actual streams he fucking just randomly panically deleted because he was afraid he was gonna get another copyright strike on him. How many of those fucking level 1 podcast streams did you delete, dumbass? So you'll go ahead and really quickly delete 50 to 100 episodes of the level 1 podcast in a hurry and not care about your fucking legacy then, or all the supposedly quote unquote hard work that you put into those podcasts then, all because you're afraid of fucking getting a copyright strike. But over here, every single video of his 15 years of content's precious and blah 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 blah. So which one is it, dumbass?
The good faith in my viewer base, the people who supported me from day one.
They support you because you keep begging for it.
We love the content you put out. Please keep it up. Take those people, fucking throw them right away, right in there. I don't care about you.
You really don't, though. I mean, it's pretty clear you don't give a shit about your fans.
Short-term payoff. You know what I'm saying? That's literally take this can and just take everything I am and everything that I've been and just fucking trash it. Then I could probably get some benefit. But it's just going to be fleeting success. That kind of success isn't long-term. There's no one who...
Guess what, Phil? The success you're getting now is also fleeting and is not long-term. Because your pay pigs are leaving you. They are dying out. The views you are getting on your videos are getting smaller and smaller. They are also dwindling. OIC is eventually gonna run out of fucking money. And when he does, what are you gonna do then? He's like the vast, 80 to 90% of the income you get from your fans is from him. So what are you gonna do when he runs out of money? Or if he ever decides to leave? Or if people just stop watching you because you keep insulting and banning almost every other fucking person there is. What are you gonna do then, huh? And I'm sorry, but this fucking, you see you got the level 1 podcast here, but you see these are 2 different shades of red? This is really annoying my OCD right here. I don't know if this is actually... Oh yeah, it's still picking up on the video. I think you can still see that's 2 different shades of red. And it's very obvious on my main monitor, though, that these are 2 different shades.
Who makes an entire living on the internet being a lol cow. You know what I'm saying? There's no one. The only way you can get ahead in that market is to be a toxic jerk who hurts others, like a few people.
So like you, and that's why you've been around for so long. Got it.
Yeah. Right? And I refuse to do that. I'm sorry that I'm just better than that. I am. I'm just better than that. I'm better than someone who will only get over by hurting others around them. I'm not going to be that person. I refuse.
How many times do I have to say it, guys? How many times do I have to say that's who he is? That's what he fucking does. He honestly does not think that he's ever hurt a single person in his 15 years of content. But every fucking day he'll get on here and shit on someone or another. How many times has he shit on Rich? How many times has he shit on Keemstar, on PewDiePie, on Markiplier, all these fucking content creators, whether they are like good or bad content creators, he's always shitting on someone. On what was it? Plum Girl was another one. Bad Bunny, I think, was another one, wasn't it? Like a long time ago. He just shits on everyone. If there's a news story trending on Twitter, he'll shit on them too. He doesn't like anyone. He's constantly having negative content about everything. About game devs that from a game he doesn't like, so he's like, these game devs are fucking idiots. That's stepping on other people. That's being toxic and negative, dumbass.
So, you're
right.
right.
I'm just calling it how it is. No, you're calling it how you feel in your opinion on how you see. That's not objective truth. That's subjective truth.
Right. There's tons of opportunities that I could take that would make me and my family money, but it would basically destroy everything I've created.
AKA, I would rather keep sucking money off of my fans than actually make any long-term profit or actually set up anything so I'm not always relying on the same 4 or 5 fucking people. I don't like, that's the whole thing with the internet. If you don't have an actual job and a normal income and the internet is all you fucking have, you need to do whatever the fuck you need to do to make that dollar, to make that coin, right? So like, I don't care if you have to actually dress up like an actual fucking clown, Phil. Go and be like fucking Perry. He'll fucking do all these ridiculous shit for money. And he does it. He bitches about it all the time, but he still fucking does it. And he's making more money than you. And he's more successful than you. And he has more people that genuinely like him than you. And he always will. Because, well, I mean, it's a little arguable, but like, compare Perry with Phil personality-wise, I would still argue that Phil is more toxic than Perry. And Perry's a fucking homophobe. How does that work? How are you more toxic than a homophobe, huh? But you are. Because at least I've seen Perry cry. I've seen real emotions from him. I see that he still at least cares about his audience. That's more than I can fucking say about you.
Destroy any kind of good faith and relationship I have with a viewer base that I built for 15 years. Change who I am as a person. And it will go down a road of immorality that I don't want to go down. It's ethics, man. It's not about...
But I thought you already fucking changed, Phil. Didn't you keep saying all the fucking time that you changed and blah, blah, blah?
It's about what you stand for, okay?
Well, apparently you just don't stand at anything.
If I do, I'm hurting people. Legitimately hurting people.
No, you're fucking not. Walmart, the company, is hurting people. Walmart, the company, is gonna be hurting people. They don't give two shits about the $2 that you spend at Walmart for this or that. Because to them, it's the equivalent of pennies in their pocket. Phil, they are gonna keep hurting people regardless if you shop there or not. Right? So like, it doesn't fucking matter. You're not changing anything. You're not making the world a better place by not fucking shopping at Walmart. How fucking delusional are you? They're not gonna miss you. That's why it's like, I work at a grocery store, right? And it's like what? Like if a customer's like being an asshole and like we can't help them, like say they like because you get some really Karens, right? Really bad Karens, and they'll be like, I really want this. And it's like, well, I'm sorry, but we're out of stock. And they're like, can't you do, like, well, what do you want me to do? I can't do anything. And so you call the manager, the supervisor, and they tell them we can't do anything. Then they get all pissed off and be like, I'm never coming here again, and storm out the door. Okay, bye. I mean, like, you're not hurting the company. The company's gonna be doing just fine without your business. I never get that because, like, these people think like the company's gonna crumble and go out of business and go bankrupt because one person doesn't shop there or something. I'm like, we're still gonna be just fine. Walmart's still gonna be way just fine. They're not even gonna notice, Phil. So shut the fuck up. You shopping or not shopping at Walmart's not gonna change a fucking thing. Even if you don't shop at Walmart, you're still hurting people on a daily fucking basis with your fucking podcast and your streams all the time. If you're not hurting someone in the news or someone or Keemstar or whoever, you're hurting your own fans and you don't even fucking realize it.
By spending money at Walmart. So I'm not going to do it. All right? And there's some people who are like that and there's some people who aren't.
He really thinks that's a big fucking deal. Do you eat at Chick-fil-A, Phil? Do you buy Harry Potter products? Oh wait, you did. You bought Hogwarts Legacy. So guess what, Phil? Because you bought Hogwarts Legacy, you supported and hurt trans people all over the world. So it's not just a Walmart thing. If you're gonna go by that logic, you're gonna have to like boycott like most of the fucking stores, products. You can't shop at Amazon anymore. That's for sure. You can't shop at Amazon. You can't buy Harry Potter. You can't eat Chick-fil-A. All these companies support or hurt people in the long run some way or another, right? And you can pick and choose a few of them. Like I pick and choose like Chick-fil-A and Harry Potter I don't support, right? So I refuse to buy anything Harry Potter related unless it's used. And even then, I never liked Harry Potter anyway, so like no loss there, right? But like you can't just cut out every single company or corporation that's toxic that's hurt someone in the past, cuz every fucking corporation, every single website, even that fucking mom and pop store down the street has somehow or another hurt someone or another in some way or another, right? So it doesn't fucking matter if you shop at Walmart or not. You're still hurting other people. If you go to Amazon, if you bought Harry Potter, that's hurting someone. Like, you know what I mean? God damn.
And I'm not going to be a part of that toxic circus that is YouTube. I refuse. All right?
Then why are you on YouTube?
Okay?
Go somewhere else. And you are part of it. Whether you like it or not, you're still fucking part of it. This man is so delusional.
Let's continue. All right. More tips are coming in. I received a $10 tip from Tarantula. Tarantula MS says, hey, Phil, how's it going, Tarantula? I hope you're doing well.
I think that was it for this this content. Big up Studio Streams back. We got another short video, hopefully. Apparently, he retcons.
Anything with it besides just a mess around hobby. All right, I never thought I would do this for a living.
Oh Lord, we got the standard fucking speech. I never thought I would do this for a living. It kind of just fell in my lap. Never thought I would do this as a long-term thing. And when I first started out, I wasn't even making money off of it. Blah, 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 blah. We've heard this a million times. You try to pretend to be like Joe Everyman, and you're fucking not. Shut the fuck up.
Like the whole word YouTuber wasn't even a thing back then.
Oh my god.
You know, when I first started doing this for a job, I didn't know what to call it. People would ask me, what do you do? What I'm a videographer? I don't know. What am I?
Are you stupid?
Right? I did this for about 2-3 years as a hobby, 2.5 years.
It was not a hobby because we all know you had a vlog channel and you were still making money off the side from the vlog channel. So even though you still had your job back then, you were making extra money on your vlog channel and begging your viewers back then for support. I think you had your Patreon back then, I can't remember, and to click on the ads. And that's originally what got your AdSense blocked, Phil. So, even back then, you were still making money off of YouTube in some way or another. So shut the fuck up about it being a fucking hobby.
Years roughly.
Because you couldn't monetize video game content yet on YouTube. So he made income off of his vlog channel instead. And he knew that eventually YouTube was gonna you could make income on video game content. So he kept making that content too.
And then out of nowhere, I was laid off from my full-time job.
Out of nowhere.
An office job that I had for about 4.5 years.
Because nepotism got it to you.
You know, I'd done things for that job. Like
no, you
I
didn't.
Bought a condo near where the job was. I made life changes so that I could basically work this job, and I was thinking about doing it for the long term, for the rest of my life. And then when I got laid off,
Bullshit.
It was a shocker. And my parents were also like, oh, God, you know, what are you going to do? And the job sector in Connecticut.
Your parents are like, oh, God, what the fuck are you going to do? You can't do anything else. We know how bad you are at that job. God forbid you get an actual job. You're going to fuck that one up, too.
At that time where I used to live was bad. The job market was awful. There weren't any other kind of jobs that were hiring in that sector. So I really didn't know what was going to happen.
You see that? He, refused to look outside of that sector for any work outside of that sector. Like, he had any actual experience anyway. But, he refuses to downgrade and get, a different job that might have paid a little bit less. He refused. That thought never even crossed his mind. He would rather sit home on unemployment and make YouTube content and beg people online than even possibly conceiving getting a stable income that made a little bit less than what he was making. He thinks income works as only a one-way street. You can't ever go back down. You can't ever get a pay decrease. It's only ever raises from there.
I had a few months of unemployment. I had been given unemployment benefits from the job when I was laid off. I was like, well, I have enough money essentially to pay for things for 2-3 months. So I have a little bit of time to try to make stuff work. Now at this time,
didn't even try to find another job.
When this happened, I was an up-and-coming YouTuber. I'd done YouTube for about 2.5 years. People liked my content. I was actually known as almost like the underdog of the internet. I didn't have any sponsorships.
No, he was not. And I'm pretty sure back then, most other people that were on YouTube at the time didn't have sponsorships at the time either. Because, I think MCMs were even really new at the time, too. So I'm pretty sure, the whole sponsorship thing wasn't even a thing yet. No one fucking viewed you as the underdog. People saw you as a drunk, fat moron who was uncensored and just gave his supposedly his honest opinion and spewed bullshit and made racist, dirty jokes. And that's why people liked you. Because you didn't censor yourself and you made racist jokes. That's about it.
Partnerships. I wasn't with any group. No one was pushing my content. It was
no one was back then for other people either.
On the internet making gameplay, and that's all it really was. It was.
There, hold on. That's how YouTube started for everyone, you dumb fuck. The whole point of YouTube used to be YouTube. You putting your own content out there. You making your own content and putting it out there. YouTube. It was made by you. Back then, when it first started, no one was having sponsorships. No one was pushing content. MCMs were just being born or started, I mean. So everyone back then was doing that. Not just you. Everyone was making their own content. You had little 5 to 10-year-olds filming on an old flip phone being like, hey, YouTube, blah, blah, blah. All this stupid shit. And it was great because, that was, it was raw. It was just everyone, showing little bits of their life or doing stupid little things. And it wasn't all corporate like it is fucking now. And you can still do that. Like, look at me. Like, I'm not sponsored by fucking anyone. I'm not MCN, but I just started. Yeah. So, like, I'm way late or whatever, but I'm trying it. And I'm not even. I want to get my opinion out here on this dumbass, right? So I'm starting to make videos reacting to this piece of shit, right? Because I've been hate watching, if you want to call it that, or being a detractor for a very long time, and I think it's finally time for me to have my own opinion on dumbass over here. So I'm doing that. You can still do that, and people, but like back then, it was more prevalent. Back then, that was the whole point of YouTube. Was just it wasn't like big sponsors and ads everywhere and about the views or anything like that. It was just about you putting your own content out there and enjoying it and for others to enjoy, and it's kind of like no one caring about tips or sponsorships or views or ads or any of that shit. It was just for fun. And then like people got greedy, and obviously we see from him that like money ruins things 100%, corrupts things.
It's just a silly thing. And so when I basically decided, hey, let's give this a shot, because if I don't do YouTube for a living and it doesn't work out, essentially everything's going to change. I might have to sell my condo. I might have to change my whole life.
Again, he's just admitting to being lazy here. So he's like, yeah, well, I'd have to actually change and actually try to find a real job and actually have to like actual do work and try to actually put myself out there and put effort in. I can't do that. I just want to be lazy and make lazy ass fucking content. 15 videos a fucking day and put it out there and live off the ad revenue.
Because I can't afford all this. Like I said, there was no equivalent jobs that I could have gone to in the job market in Connecticut to make what I was making at the office job. I would have had to basically, maybe move back in with my parents and all kinds of stuff.
Oh, that would be unthinkable. God forbid someone move back in with their parents and try to catch back up or get back on their feet again or something like that. No, no, no. We can't do that. We can't actually like try to find a job that pays a little bit less than what we were paying and maybe like at least in the temporary part until you find a better job or anything like that. No.
Okay? And so, basically,
like a lot of people do that. Like if something bad happens, if they get fired, like there's no shame in having to move back in with your parents temporarily so you can save up as much money as you can, not have to worry about rent that much or utilities or anything like that. As long as you have a job, you can save up your income to find maybe downsize, find maybe a smaller apartment, smaller house or something like that, or find a better job. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
What I decided to do as I was collecting. Oh, wait a minute. It wasn't. Let me take that back. Did I say unemployment? It wasn't unemployment. It was a severance package. What do they call it? When you get laid off from a job, they give you a package that lasts a few months, right?
Yeah, it's called a severance package. You got it right, dumbass.
What is it called?
A severance package?
It wasn't unemployment. I never filed for unemployment. That's incorrect. I said the wrong thing because some people are saying, you filed for unemployment? You never said that before. No, I completely misspoke. I never had unemployment benefits. Is it called a severance package? That's what it was. It was a severance package where I had gotten laid off. They gave me enough pay to make up for like 3 months. All right. So I was going to lose my health benefits. I was going to lose everything basically.
And you did.
When I had the 3 months or so to figure out what I wanted to do, I did go out there and apply for different jobs.
Did you? Because I'm kind of doubting that you did.
I wonder if I can make YouTube work as a job. And so I started doing my own thing, and at that time I still had the gaming channel, DSP Gaming. This channel existed, but it wasn't monetized because back then you couldn't just monetize gameplay video.
Yes, that's why you had your vlogging channel, so you can monetize your vlogging channel. We got it.
But I had another channel, a vlogging channel.
Yeah, see?
I said, well, that's monetized, and I make a little bit of money on there. And I was trying to figure out how to make ends meet or whatever.
See?
And what happened was when I told my story of how I had lost my job, right? and I didn't know what I was gonna do, because if YouTube didn't work out as a job, which I had never intended, all right, basically I'd be up shit's creek. I'd lose everything. People resonated with that, and people started supporting my content. They started watching the hell out of the ads, and I hate to say it, basically clicking on all the ads on all my videos.
Because you fucking told them to. You begged them. You like, guys, I'm sorry, but I lost my job and I don't have a whole lot of money, so it would really mean a lot to me if you clicked on all the ads, watched all the ads all the way through. You fucking said that. I could go and dig that shit up right now. It's still on your YouTube channel, Phil.
On my vlogging channel. And what ended up happening was, within like 2 months, I was
People resonated with that because you begged them to do it. Or they felt pity for you, or both.
insane amounts of money on YouTube.
But
and
you
I
begged
went
them
to my
to do
parents
that.
and showed them. I was like, look at how much money I'm actually making. Like, this is ridiculous. I mean, no exaggeration. I was making, over $10,000 a month on just a couple vlogs that I was pumping out on this channel. It didn't make sense. How could I be doing videos on a channel that's vlogging, and I was making $10,000+ a month just on the ad revenue on this one channel?
It doesn't make... Oh, actually, it does make sense. It's called begging. And that's not stable income anyway. He made that much money at that time, and he thought that was stable, and that's, what's the right word? A preset of how... That's like how YouTube will always be from this point onwards. It could never drop. It's always gonna be like... That's like how YouTube will always be from this point on. He never thinks that it could go wrong. He thinks it's always going to remain steady like that.
It was insane.
And that's not the case,
So,
obviously.
I knew it wasn't going to be sustainable.
Oh, did
But
you?
I
Did
showed
you
it to
really?
my parents, and they were like blown away, and they were like, what in the holy hell? Like, they couldn't believe it. I was showing them the numbers. They would come over to my house, and I would show them, look at, here's the statistics of what it's saying I'm making on these ads. And of course they were like, well, can that be sustainable? And I was like, no, I don't know how it could be, but I mean, here's what it's been. It lasted about a month and a half, basically 2 months roughly. And then YouTube basically said, yeah, this isn't kosher. People are coming to your videos and they're clicking. This is not normal activity, and therefore we're suspending your AdSense, and you're not going to make any more money on your videos. So then what ended up happening
Yes,
was,
isn't that the case, dumbass?
got partnered with Machinima. Through that partnership with Machinima,
You begged Hutch to have Machinima ad you.
was able to put ads on all my gameplay videos, and that's really when I started making the big money. I mean, there were some months I was making insane money.
And
back then.
That was the
Back then,
start of your downfall, wasn't it?
the ad revenue was sky high on YouTube. So then it was funny because all this happens, right? And as all this is happening, my parents and I go to a Chinese restaurant. And at the end of the meal, we get fortune cookies. We open the fortune cookie, and it says, I shit you not, it says on the fortune, moving forward, you won't have to worry about money anymore. And I'm reading it, and I'm like, how on earth is that a fortune? Because typically when you go to like a Chinese restaurant, the fortune is something so generic. This one was like specific to my situation of what was going on. And I was like, how exactly could that be? How could that be the fortune I just got? And I saved it, and I put it on my refrigerator at home to show it wasn't fake or anything. And it was crazy because then I started being a full-time YouTuber, partnered with Machinima, and I started making crazy money. It was wild.
So a fucking fortune cookie is to blame for all the bullshit this man has caused. All the fucking toxicity, all the vile shit that he said, all the bullshit that he said. The reason this man is on YouTube right now is because of some fucking bullshit fortune cookie? Okay, Phil. All right. Well, maybe you're just a fucking moron. How about that? Because yeah, fortune cookies aren't actually fortune cookies. They don't actually tell your fortune. I don't know if you knew that or not, but like, yeah, you're just a dumbass. And yeah, he's talking about how all the money he made, well, gee, if you didn't, like, spend it all and think that your life from that point until you died, you were always going to make that kind of money, you would be as successful as Keemstar is now, wouldn't you?
Now, my parents didn't really watch my content. Here's the thing.
It's
I'm
a good
gamer.
thing they didn't. They
don't
would have
care
hated
about
you
video
even
games.
more.
They never did. My dad was never really into them. The only games he knew about were the ones he played with me when I was in the 1980s. He never got into gamer culture or anything. He didn't care. My mom, she's not even on the internet. So to them, what I was doing was like this weird, wild new world that, you know, they're not familiar with. So they didn't know about it. They didn't really care about it. They don't watch the content. They just don't, you know.
And then they saw their son change and became more narcissistic, more egocentric, more greedy, and throwing away all of his friendships and relationships and moving across the country to get away from them and become this horrible monster of a person that totally changed so drastically, supposedly, that they can't even recognize who their son is anymore because he's become this fucking greedy asshole that doesn't care about anything but fucking money.
know what they did watch?
He has no soul anymore because he spent it all. He sold his soul.
Cooking with the King. They watched the Cooking with the King videos of me trying to cook and being stupid and not knowing what I was doing. They laughed at them because they thought they were funny because they got
As
what I was
opposed to you being stupid and not knowing what you're doing with gameplay. Got it.
going for with those. Okay? But outside of that, you know, they don't really watch anything. So to them, it was like, whoa. So you're going to be able to do this crazy thing on the internet that's kind of unorthodox. You're going to make a good amount of money doing it, right? That's crazy. But the thing is, I don't think any of us really knew that there would be longevity to it or anything. For our attitude was always kind of, we called it ride the wave. You know there's going to be ups and downs, but definitely ride the wave and see how long it takes us and how far it takes us. Because one day I might have to stop doing it and do something different. But at least now, you know, for the short term, this is something that it looks viable that I can do. And let's be honest, in the last, 12...
And it stopped being viable like 10 years ago, Phil. Whenever that ad apocalypse happened, that's when you should have stopped and tried to find an actual job or some way to supplement your income so it's not relying 100% on YouTube. And I think his father's a lot smarter than that. I think his father knew from the get-go this was never going to be sustainable or stable. And you just refuse to listen to any kind of reason and just like, no, I'm making way too much money. I can't ever have a real job now. And what happened to that fucking 10-year plan, huh, Phil? Where's that 10-year plan where your mom says you need to get an actual job? Oh, I just said that to get the tax money from her. Fuck her. Fuck that 10-year plan. I just agreed with her so I can get that money.
12, 13 years I've been doing this for a job. Things have changed absolutely dramatically, right? Dramatically. To the point where now I barely even do the same thing. Can you even argue that today I'm making the same kind of content or whatever? Of course not. It's so different. But
not really, still the same shit.
It has been a wild ride that was worth riding, and I absolutely love what I do today. But my parents never really reacted in a negative way. I will tell you this: my mom was always skeptical and like, how long are you going to make this happen? How can you keep going? One day you're going to have to transition out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing. Here's the major difference here.
Oh, okay.
The transition that's happening isn't exactly what was expected. The transition is
no
you
shit.
can't just play video games for the rest of your life, right? That's correct. I really, there's no way. I'm 41 years old. I can't just sit around playing games for the rest of my life. It ain't gonna work.
Oh, but I can sit around and react to videos for the rest of my life. That's different. Even though there's way, way, way less actual views on his React shit than there is on his actual gaming shit. He's not making nearly as much money on his... Whenever he has a React stream, he usually makes way fucking less money than he normally does. Except for recently because Jinx keeps giving him that fucking money for that vest streak. But aside from that, before this vest streak happened, he was not making nearly any money on the React shit. So no, Phil, you can't just give up playing video games for the rest of your life and start reacting 24/7 because you're going to run out of content. You skip your reacts all the time. You fast forward and skip through them. Or you complain that you can't relate to them and you skip them. And all this other bullshit. And no one's watching or caring that much about your reacts. Even your own fans are telling you through the lower views you are getting that they don't want to see this. They would prefer that you keep gaming. But again, you're not listening. It goes back to what Moist Critical said. what are you going to do? Are you going to keep doing what your audience says? And your audience is the one that's giving you money and giving you views and like giving you money, or are you going to try to do something different and try to gain a new audience for the React shit? Because keeping the same audience you have now and quitting playing video games and doing all just the React, you're not going to make it. They're not going to support you the same way they support you for the gameplay.
But transitioning into different styles of content, literally vlogging, podcasting, the React content I'm doing right now, and other things as I get older, phasing out all of the gameplay and instead having that be more of a balance between other topics and other kinds of content.
But you're
I
shit
do
at
feel
it.
like I can make this
Way
happen
more
long term.
shit. Nope.
You know, there's enough.
And that's
people
not what the fucking 10-year plan was, you dipshit. You promised her you were gonna get a real job and quit this internet this internet business. That's what you fucking said. Or not quit it, but ease up on it or whatever. That's not what you fucking said. She didn't mean for you to transition into another thing that you're even worse at than you are at the gameplay thing. So shut the fuck up. It's not going to be sustainable. No one really likes or cares about your podcast that much. And there's only so many questions they can keep asking you over and over again on the podcast. There's only so many videos they're going to have you react. How many times are you going to react to the same fucking Singapore fucking food bullshit? Huh? How many times until they wise up and realize you're just skipping over all their React content that they give you?
Who are interested in me and my opinions on things and hanging out with me on a daily basis.
No one gives a shit
support
about
this
your
being
wrong
my
opinions.
occupation. And I didn't really see that back then. Back then it was just gaming. Gaming was what was going to pay the bills.
He is so fucking delusional. Holy shit. Phil, get some help, please. For the love of God.
Gaming was the big thing. But now I've seen how things have changed, and in a lot of ways the gaming thing isn't necessarily really the big thing anymore a lot of times. I mean, yeah, if a big game comes out and I get a big boosted views or whatever,
you're still making a hell of a lot more views and a hell of a lot more money when you play games than when you actually do any kind of React content, Phil. And that's across the board. It's not just when a big game comes out. That's across the board. Your views are dropping all over on your gameplay stuff and on your React stuff. It's not like it's dropping on your gameplay and going up on your React. It's dropping all over the place, you dumbass.
For the most part, let's be honest, things are changing on YouTube and everywhere else. And you got to move with those changes. And
so maybe move to a different platform, not move from one genre of video to another genre of video. Maybe spread yourself out so you're not putting all your eggs in one fucking basket. You keep shitting on YouTube, but you don't move anywhere else. Go back to Twitch. I know you bitched about how bad Twitch was, but you would make a lot more fucking money on Twitch than you would here. Okay? But you're too fucking stupid.
People aren't just looking for someone to sit here and talk about games all day, every day anymore. You know what I mean? But today, because, years ago, I had a conversation with my mom. And she was basically like, you're probably going to have to phase out from doing YouTube and get an in real life job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I kind of agreed with her. And then the pandemic happened. And we looked at that situation.
Which was 3 years ago now, Phil. Hate to break it to you, but the pandemic is over and people are hiring all over the place like crazy, okay? Because they lost a lot of employees to the pandemic and people just didn't want to come back to work anymore. It's been 3 years. People, companies are hiring all over the place and you have no excuse on well, you might have some excuse on why someone wouldn't hire you, but every place is hiring, so you can't fucking blame the pandemic now for never looking for a job again for the rest of your fucking life. Because the pandemic is fucking over.
And we were like, dude, if I didn't have a YouTube job during the pandemic, I probably would have lost everything. Because any job that I would have had, I likely would have gotten laid off or lost.
So that means I'll never actually look for a real job ever again. It would have been
the end of everything. Thank God I had an internet-based job that I could continue to do and entertain people who at that time were very, very distraught over what was happening in.
Yeah, and you entertained them, but you also begged these other people who were distraught and might have been losing their jobs themselves, and you still begged them to have more money. You see, all your income comes from these other people who watch you, and so you're just taking money away from people who are more needier than you, who needed that money a hell of a lot more than you, and you still had the audacity to take their fucking money away from them.
In the world,
What a
and their
piece of
personal
shit.
lives, you know? So it would have been crazy to quit what I was doing because I actually would have screwed myself over inadvertently. So now instead of being, listen, there's absolutely no way that I can continue to do gameplay for the rest of my life. But my plan is to transition into other kinds.
So you're just never going to retire and you're going to die on stream. That's the whole thing. We're literally going to see, if he makes it that far, we're going to see a 60-year-old man react to things that he doesn't understand on YouTube, and we're going to watch him have a heart attack one day. That's all there is, because we know he's not saving any money for retirement. We know he's not getting any help whatsoever for his mobile game addictions and his shopping addictions. And we're just going to see an old man die of a heart attack or a stroke one day. It looks like he already fucking had a stroke. He looks like he's 10 years older than what he actually fucking is. I've seen plenty of people who look like they're 40 years old and not look this fucking bad. Like, Phil, YouTube is draining your whole fucking soul. And the greed is just like sucking you dry, my man. And it's just pathetic. So you're never going to look for an actual job. And I guarantee you're not going to make as much money doing react videos than you were doing gameplay videos. Unless you react to drama content or to detractor stuff, but you outright refuse to react to that kind of stuff, don't you? Now, if he actually started reacting to detractor stuff and like actually tried to like counteract some of the arguments that we pose or whatever, or the things that we say, then he might actually start making some like decent money, but he's never going to do that.
Of content,
because that would be negative.
Doing, if you haven't noticed, and it's been successful. So now my parents don't, do they ask me, what are you doing? No, I tell them every once in a while, hey, I'm doing this.
They gave up. They gave up a long fucking time ago, Phil. They're like, our son's a loser. Our son's gonna die before us, probably. Our son's, we just give up on our son because he's the biggest fucking loser and he's never gonna get a real job or anything like that, any kind of stable income. And he'll keep coming to us to ask for more and more money.
Special marathon. Hey, I got a podcast. They don't care. They really don't care. I don't think they've really ever watched the content. To them, it was just weird that I found a way to transition from, IRL jobs, in-person office jobs, retail jobs, into something that was internet-based. But since the major focus of my content is gaming, I don't really think they give a shit. They never really watched it. They never really talked about it. They're happy for me, obviously, that I can do what I love for a living. But at the same time, they're aware of all the ups and downs and things I've been through. I tell them. I talk to them every single week.
And they don't all that's going care. On in my life. Yeah, whatever.
So they're well aware of all the...
Yep, that's nice. Oh, you got another job. Okay, so do you still need the money then? Oh, okay, yeah, fine. The check's in the mail. Got it.
The big, good, positive things and the horrible things that can happen being an internet content creator.
Like, why can't our son be like a stock exchange person or sell stocks online or something instead? But no, we're stuck with him.
Hate Army generals.
Shout out to.
All right, one more and then we're done because this is going on way too long. I'm sorry.
Hate Army.
Your name is Hate Army? Saying Hate Army shit.
Hate Army shout out.
Good vibes to the Hate Army.
Shout out for hate.
Okay, so guys, I told you I would be waiting for in between the parts to do shout outs. Well, I have a lot of shout outs to do. All right. So shout out number 1, thank you, Guitar Player, who re-upped his membership to the channel for 3 months. Number 2, Evan had done a super chat and says, see Five Nights at Freddy's trailer. I did not see it. I know that the movie is being made. I have not seen the Five Nights at Freddy's trailer as of yet. So maybe something to recommend for a future DSP versus the internet, right? Because I haven't seen it yet.
My question is, Like, okay, so like the whole react thing is kind of like its own thing, and I'm aware that I'm doing it myself because I'm reacting to this moron. But there's a difference from me reacting to him than the shit that he's reacting to, right? Because I'm reacting to a lol cow, and this man, like, we all have our different opinions and different like ways we can express our frustrations at Phil and other lol cows, right? And honestly, when it comes to detractors, like the more different points of views we have regarding these lolcows like Phil or Cobra or Wings or whoever, the more different voices, the more different detractors we have that are giving different takes and different points of view, the better, right? But I'm not over here pretending I have this like special unique take that no one else has, right? I'm not pretending to be this big personality that people honestly really, really care about my opinion as opposed to any other Joe Schmo's opinion, right? But but with the shit that Phil does with his react, his ego and narcissism is so big that he really fucking thinks that like so many people are hanging on his opinion and really want to know his opinion on everything when really it's like 5 to 10 people. Again, his fan base is dwindling. His fan base is bleeding viewers. His fan base is very fucking small. You got Jade, you got Derek, you got OIC, you got like a few. Oh god, what was that one? Like the incel guy. I can't remember what the fuck his name was. You got very small people that are watching him. Not a whole lot of people. Honestly, there's no silent majority. There's none of that. So it's like, and honestly, I think they just want to like. I don't know if they really so much care about his opinion so much as like it seems more like they care about their video being the video, their suggestion for their clip of video being played on the show, so maybe they can show the other people in the chat. That's what it kind of feels like. They don't care so much about his actual opinion. They care about like, oh yes, this is the clip I submitted. Oh dude, now you can see the clip I was talking about. And not really caring so much about what he thinks. But Phil over here thinks that he's some big celebrity, some big YouTuber, even though he constantly claims he's not some big YouTuber and all this other bullshit, blah, blah, blah. But he's still acting like he's the fucking king, right? He's still acting like he's the king of hate, some big name internet celebrity, and we're all dying to hear his opinions and his hot takes on everything that's fucking submitted. And that's not how you react to stuff, right? Like all the decent reactors I see are reacting to drama. They're reacting to lolcows. They're reacting to like fucking Ethan Ralph and shit. Like all these dumbasses online. They're fucking Medicure. They're like Sin and Sass. They're watching Foodie Beauty and Amberlyn Reed and shit like that because it's funny and we're like watching train wrecks and stuff like that. But like I don't know any like big name, really big person who's reacting to random shit online because no one cares. I don't get this. Like, where's appeal on some person you don't really know reacting to random shit online? Like, how is he gonna get a new audience for this channel, right? He doesn't. The same members that he has for this channel, he has in DSP Gaming. He's just splitting up his fan base even more. He's constantly dividing his fan base for this and for that, and it's just all overlapping. So it's all the same people gifting subs to each other for this channel or for that channel, blah blah blah. Like, not, you see what I'm saying? He's not getting any new viewers whatsoever. Because the random person watching stuff online, like, they're not going to care about some random person they don't know that looks like a fucking clown wearing shitty ass hats or a shitty ass vest with garbage in the background reacting to random shit. If he was reacting to like actual drama or trying to counteract some of what his trolls and detractors are saying, that would be another thing. But he's just reacting to random Singapore food or, oh, it's this really silly music video. Watch it, Phil. And then on top of that, he's just skipping through it anyway. So he's not even watching the whole thing. So why does it matter? Why would any new members or new actual like new audience come and watch this stuff? Why would anyone want to, other than his very small audience, that dedicated audience that already watches him, that already cares about him? Because the only ones who really care about him are the detractors and his small little audience that keeps shrinking.
Okay. Now, first of all, we've got a $25 tip that came in from Jinx. He says, I became an Ultra member. It didn't pop up. It took a while to give me my crown and stuff. Very weird, but I got my black coffee, my cigar. I'm looking forward to some great React content that I can actually enjoy. Thank you to Jinx for a $25 tip. Let's see if the animation works without me having to re-log in, because sometimes if you don't log in for like a week, it screws up. Did it work? It did work. Cool. Thank you, Jinx. So that'll get us up to $126 in tips. Very close to our vest goal for the week.
And you see what I mean? Because in the past 2 or 3 weeks, OIC has been trying to keep this vest streak up and running, so he's getting this overinflated sense of success when really it's just the one person giving him these tips over and over again. It's Jinx / OIC or OIC / into Jinx. So Jinx will donate a little bit, or a lot, and then OIC logged in as Jinx will log off her Jinx account, log into OIC's account, and give him the money, and probably log off of that account and go to a different suck account and log in the money. So it's all really coming from a very small amount of people. But he's getting the ideal in his head, this ever since his vest streak started, this overinflated sense of ego, when clearly this person is only caring about maintaining the vest streak for some fucking reason at this point, and isn't actually doing like. So he thinks people are actually caring for the first time ever about his fucking React content and thinking this is a sustainable thing that's always going to be happening, and he's always going to be hitting the tip goals on every single React stream he gets, when really all it is because of the fucking vest streak.
Then we've got,
and it's definitely not sustainable,
a $20 tip from 1 Minute Man. Thank you to 1 Minute Man for your usual daily support of my content. I really appreciate that, sir.
Which is also probably OIC.
Let's play your animation. Another $20 tip animation. Very nice. So that gets us to 146. And then there was another tip. And this one was from Guitar Player. It's a $5 tip. So it is official. We have hit our vest goal for today, and I will do a vest poll in just a moment for you guys to vote on. Thank you all for supporting my content. I really appreciate that. That is a 17 stream streak where we have hit the tips goal. 17 straight streams, everybody. Thank you so very much for that. All right, so thank you guys for your support.
Will you finally upgrade your PC now? Sorry, Sally, but he's never going to upgrade that until it dies. And then he'll just beg for even more money. He's not going to use any of the actual vest streak money or his actual tip money to actually pay for that. He'll have to beg for all new money to pay for that, because he won't actually use any of this money to actually improve any of his fucking streams. That's not happening. He's blowing all this money on WWE champions, and then in what, like 2 or 3 months when the vest streak's over, and you ask him, when you ask him what happened to that vest streak money, he's going to say the same thing he said last time when someone asked him for the last vest streak. Oh, it went to Bills, guys. Incidentally, if you can see over here, this mouse game, it looks like a really fucking fun game. It's like a first-person shooter, but like mixed with Cuphead and Mickey Mouse, and it looks really fucking fun. I don't know if it's actually out yet or not, but that game on Steam looks really fucking fun.
Jade says, see you soon. One troll says me bye. I don't know what you mean by that, Jade. But are you taking off?
It's almost like
If you're taking
Jade
off,
is
I'll see you later, okay?
mentally challenged or
And by the way, I'm taking care of some trolls in the chat right now. You guys can be a little patient. I'm just going to wipe out a few idiots while you get a chance here.
fake Jade in chat.
All right. So, guys, awesome. We hit our tips goal. The other cool thing about that is, Jinx is here, but, did a couple smaller tips today. It wasn't all about Jinx today. I'm happy about that. I'm happy that we're getting good support.
Actually,
it's not
kind of
just
was
about one person. Thank you guys so much for that. But we got much more reacting to come. Again, remember, becoming a member is the best way to support this channel. It would be great if maybe we could get up to our members goal for today. If you were thinking of supporting this stream, since we already
now
hit
he's
the tips
still
goal,
begging you
I would
after
say
you hit the
memberships,
tips
gifted
goal?
memberships, or super chats would be really helpful today. Okay, guys? Time these people have some kind of thing they want me involved in. Oh, actually, there's a catch to it. Here's the catch, is that there's this bullshit going on or this. It's like, so right now, quite frankly, I don't really even want to mess with it. You know what I mean? Like, I just kind of want to chill and do my own thing. Plus, I'm going to be so busy anyway. Let's face it, next month is a humongous month for new releases. Street Fighter 6, Diablo 4, Final Fantasy 16, just to name the big three, among other things going on that month. I don't really have time to be working on other shit anyway. You understand what I'm saying? So, I'm not really concerned with it. I'm shutting off all outside nonsense, all outside drama. I'm not paying attention to anyone involving me in anything. I just want to do my own thing for now. Maybe something will change in the future. For now, let's just focus on the content on the channel and do that. And not worry too much about all these idiots trying to pull me into bullshit. Okay? My night is going good, Dark Gallbach. I'm ready for Final Fantasy V. So, a few quick things, because we're going to start in a minute. So, if you can believe it, yes, a 17 stream streak where we have been hitting my support goals. 17 in a row. It's about a week and a half now. Almost, 9 days. We're 8.5 days. The other cool thing about it is, earlier today, when we hit that goal, it had really nothing to do with Jinx. It's always been, it's on Jinx. Jinx is with the big Hail Mary tip. Jinx. Earlier today, it was everyone else. Everyone else came and supported the stream. Jinx maybe did a couple very small tips, but it was
very
all the people,
small, like
was
$50
really good, that's
is
the whole
small,
point. I'm
apparently,
people
huh?
Listen, I
$100
appreciate support and everything,
small.
but it shouldn't just be the same person all the time.
It really
was
is,
really
though.
a big cooperative effort, and people got that stream to hit the tips
And then
goal.
these deadheads over here honestly think that we are upset that he's getting money. Like, we don't care, because we all know that money's not actually going to help him at all. That money is going to WWE champions. That money is going to him wasting money. Either he's going to be gambling it on gacha, or he's going to be buying useless shit that he doesn't really need. That money's not going to improve the stream in any way. And it's probably not going to bills either. There's maybe like a 15% chance it's going to some of the bills, but probably not.
Really the help of Jinx too much, and that was great. However,
you're not going to see any return for your investment.
We don't know what's going to happen. We'll see what happens tonight. Will it continue the streak or not? If it doesn't continue tonight, that's fine. If this is the end of it, it's okay. Again, I don't want to talk about it all night long at all. If it happens, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's not a huge deal. You understand? So let's just see how the night goes. Typically, these late night streams were some of my slower streams. So, without the help of Jinx, it's probably going to be a very slim chance that we would even hit the tips goal regardless. But let's see what happens. But anything, guys, tonight is appreciated. Super chats, super stickers, memberships, gifted memberships, or tips, all greatly appreciated. All right? Okay. So, guys, a couple quick things. First of all, I really have to pee, but a bunch of contributions have come in that I want to shout out. So if you give me a second here, so let's do this. First of all, Matthew did a second super chat, and I put his name wrong. I said his name was Matthew C. His name is Matthew W, and I'm sorry about that, Matthew. I got your last name wrong, and that's totally my fault.
OIC must be super successful in life. Yeah, well, a lot of good that is if he just gives it away, huh?
Weird. Big Jim G Gaming 12 did a super chat saying, I love DSP Gaming. I've dedicated a video to you. Well,
holy shit, how far do you have to lean forward to read your fucking monitor? Holy shit, Phil. Look at that! Look how fucking close. Cause his laptop is probably like right out of frame here. He has to look that fucking far just to read the goddamn screen. Get some reading glasses. Get some fucking glasses, dude. Get some bifocals or something. Jesus
Gaming12
Christ.
super chat saying, I love DSP Gaming. I've dedicated a video to you. Well, thanks. I hope it's a positive video.
Hi. I'm looking forward
I'm sorry.
to getting Final Fantasy V. I haven't played Final Fantasy V yet. I was just watching one of my favorite YouTubers, DSP, and he was playing Final Fantasy V. And I just got to get out of bed. My wife is not cooking me food as much. She says I need to go downstairs, but it's so hard. I'm almost 600 pounds and I'm bedridden. I didn't like the Harry Potter.
Okay, now I kind of feel a little bit bad for laughing. But, yeah.
I didn't like Harry Potter that much. No, I know my favorite YouTuber, DSP, likes Harry Potter. I don't like Harry Potter at all.
Oh my gosh.
I don't, this stupid game. I like old games.
I agree with you there, though.
Games, like
Harry Potter game sucks.
Nintendo and Super Nintendo era. They're easier to understand. I just want to give a message out. All those people out there that are making fun of my boy DSP. You know, he works really hard to entertain, and he's such a positive person. He doesn't deserve to have people making fun of him.
No, don't. Oh, God. Don't lower the camera down, please. What the fuck?
Yeah, scratch my leg.
Oh my God. Keep the camera on your face, please.
Anyway.
Is this legit? This isn't like some... Is this legit? This isn't like just someone fucking around or anything, right?
Can't get Final Fantasy V till I get my disability check.
Oh my God.
I shouldn't have donated as much money as I did. But
oh my God.
I like to support Phil because he entertains me.
Oh my God.
And he produces positive content. Oh, anyways, I hope everybody have a good day. Thank you. Turn this off. Honey, I'm hungry.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm sorry. I am sorry. Like, I'm not laughing at that man, okay? I'm really not. I feel bad for him, really. Oh my God. Is that real? Like, assuming that was legit and real and that wasn't just like someone fucking around. Because, like, obviously, you know, because my first instinct is he's like fucking around. Like, I mean, obviously he's bigger, whatever. But, like, if he's just like playing it up or like acting kind of thing, like, oh yeah, I'm a DSP fan, like, you know what I mean? Like, but if that was legit, oh my gosh, I just feel so bad for him. Because you can see, like, the type of people that like Phil, right? If that is, like, I'm going off the basis that that video clip that we saw was a legitimate fan of Phil, right? There is definitely a chance that it's fake and it's just someone, like, acting it up kind of thing, like, acting up the thing to like pretend to be a DSP fan just to show like what the typical DSP fan might be like or whatever. But if that would, I'm going based off of the fact that that was a real clip and that was a real fan of DSP and he was being sincere, right? So based off of that being a real thing, a real fan, that just pisses me off even more about DSP because he is 100% taking advantage of these poor people. I feel bad for that man. I'm trying not to laugh at him because he obviously has issues mentally and physically, right? Like he is like he said he was bedridden and like I suffer from being obese myself, right? So I'm not gonna laugh at him for being fat. I'm not even gonna laugh at him for being mentally challenged or because you could just kind of tell from how he was talking that he wasn't um the smartest lad or whatever. I feel sad now, man. That bummed me out, honestly, because you could kind of tell when he was talking that you could see the pygnosis, if you will. You can see how Phil got in these people's heads and like kind of I don't want to say brainwashed, but like kind of it is brainwashing, right? Like he is reinforcing and constantly hypnotizing these people by reciting the same bullshit, the same lines over and over again. These repetition of the same shit, a positive content, and like I'm like innocent and all these like things, right? And I'm sorry, my dude, but this just reinforces my belief that he is 100% taking advantage of these people that are struggling enough as it is, don't have enough money as it is, and they're giving Phil the last amount of money they have from disability when they should be using that to help themselves. To, well, I was going to say to like, so that they can like buy food or buy the necessities they need to pay the bills and all this other stuff. And they're giving it to this piece of shit con man who is stealing money from these people. And holy shit, that's like if that like going off the assumption that is real. I'm sorry, this is going way too long. This is the last video. But that just made me feel awful. Not because I've talked down about, well, a little bit because of that too. But going off the assumption that was a real fan and everything, it just makes me more pissed off at Phil, and it makes me a little bit sad that I was making fun of some of his fans because, like, they really are that, what's a good word to say that isn't, like, insulting? Because I'm not trying to be insulting to them. They're just misguided, you know? They've been conned. Kind of like Trump supporters in a way, honestly. They fell for the con. They thought he was gonna make their lives better. You get this fast talking, not very smart con man up here, and he talks in circles, and he promises everything, and he kind of gets in their head and like kind of brainwashes them, or like constantly like repeats himself over and over again, and they fall for him and they vote for him or give him all the money or whatever, and he doesn't really care about them whatsoever, doesn't fulfill any of the promises or anything like that. And it's really fucking depressing and sad that they're being taken advantage of to such a horrible degree by this piece of shit with no morals, um and will willingly and knowingly do such a thing because he knows Jade is not 100% all there. He knows Jade has some mental issues. Um is he knows a lot of his fans are on disability, and the mere fact they're on disability, um, probably means you shouldn't be accepting their fucking money. If someone tried to give me money, if a homeless person came up and tried to give me money, I would not fucking accept that. If someone who's like on a very fixed income and disability that is not is mentally like challenged to like some degree or something and like having a hard time making ends meet and they still try to give me money, I'm sorry, like I'm not gonna take your money. You keep that. You need that money for yourself. I don't need that money more than you do, you know? And it's fucking depressing, man. Jesus Christ.
If not, well, that's really mean of you. But hopefully it is a positive video. Thank you, Big Jim G Gaming, for the super chat. Oh, no problem. Someone said, thank you for ignoring all orbiting drama. I want no part of any orbiting drama. As you can see, when you're on my streams, there's literally no drama. We're just having fun with games. That's all this is about. I don't care about any nonsense or what anyone's saying or doing about me. Don't give two shits. I'm just here to be with my audience. I ignore everybody else.
Because my first thought when I was watching that was like, well, why are you having your wife make your food for you? But then I realized he's kind of stuck in bed. So, oh my gosh. I just feel bad for him. You know, I pity him. But I don't pity this piece of shit because he's just knowingly taking money from people like that.
Okay. And up next, ladies and gentlemen,
like, people don't make fun of Foodie Booty or Amberlynn Reed because they are fat. They constantly try to spin the narrative that people are making fun of them and being fat phobic because they are fat. No, they're trolling you because you're a piece of shit human being. There's a big difference. I'm not gonna sit here and make fun of anyone just because they're fat. No. And I have nothing bad to say about that dude. I feel bad for him. But Chantal and Foodie Booty, Chantal and Amberlynn Reed, they're both horrible pieces of abusive shit. And that's why they have detractors. Not because they're fat, because they're horrible people. There's a difference. That's why people make fun of DSP, because he takes money from people like that who need it.
I have received.
Oh, that's loud.
A $150 tip from Jinx tonight. $150 tip from Jinx. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, again, Jinx has done it. And with that tip, we have now hit 18 straight streams of hitting the support goals.
Not even trying to pretend to be anyone other than OSC.
I mean, this is
crazy.
Oh, I'm not,
Thank
you so very much, obviously.
Trolls crying downstairs. No, we really aren't. We don't give a shit.
Thank you, and thank you some more.
He's gonna waste it all anyway.
Now I'm really happy that earlier today we hit this goal without you having to really, contribute that much to it.
See, I was right. Need Jinx to hit the tip goal. Yeah, because if it wasn't Jinx and OIC, who are the same person, by the way, this streak would not be continuing.
But thank you so much. All right, that means we're at $160 in tips. I'm going to use the restroom, and then I'm going to come right back, and we're going to see what you voted for, and then we're going to do the vest poll, okay? So give me a second. I'm going to mute the mic, go pee, come right back, and then we'll do the second poll. All right. No. It says, I received a 14...
OIC has DID. That's kind of funny. DID is dissociative identity disorder. So that would imply that OIC has different alters, which would explain why he has obviously he doesn't, and it's a joke, because OIC has so many fucking sock accounts, and each sock account would be like an alter that has a different personality, and they're all donating money to DSP. So yeah, in a way he kind of does, because he's playing as different people, but he's still Jinx and 1 Minute Man and OIC and probably many more sock accounts too.
I'm just kidding. Nothing. So why are you laughing? So guys,
he's still
thank you so much, obviously.
Fishing for more money even after that.
18 straight streams where we've hit the tips goal. And even though, yes, it's mostly been Jinx, there's actually been a couple of streams it wasn't Jinx. And that's
Actually,
really
it was
awesome.
all Jinx.
So thank
Sorry.
you guys very much about that, all right? Yes, Jade, big tips tonight for sure. Because I see Jinx tipped you tonight, yes.
Jinx.
In a big way. Much appreciated, Jinx, yet again, for all your support. Thank you.
All right, we're done. This video went way too long. I am sorry for how long that took. Eesh. And I am sorry it wasn't 100% because I did start filming this after I got out of work. And I was a little bit tired than usual, so I was having a harder time losing my train of thought and all that bullshit. So I'm sorry about all that. Hopefully you enjoyed. This video again was way longer than I thought it was gonna be, so I apologize for that again. Also, but at least I'm covering a lot of these topics that I wanted to talk about, so now I can get them off of the playlists and work on the next one. Yeah, so sorry about all that. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you for the next one.